Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is, man. Unwelcome your thoughts off the hip with my brother Razor. It's your boy HD the King. And here we are. We are here,
Back with
folks.
another one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope everybody let me see, did everybody get to hear me? Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go, y'all. How you feeling today, mate?
Entertained, to say the least.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, we got a lot of it's been a good 24 to 30 something hours of wrestling to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Today was a what 5 hour show today?
Five and a
Just
half with
about.
the pre-show.
Yeah.
It was a long one.
I don't really mind that either, but we're gonna get into everything. What happened on the kickoff show besides a lot of talking for the first hour? What was the first match that happened on there?
I believe it was Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo. I mean, this match personally, they're both two top female talents that both can go bell to bell. I mean, I'm always indifferent to pre-match shows because you see folks on there that, given what we're showing on the main show, you could probably swap that match with a match in the pre-show and be like, it's fine. It's a little bit better. It is what it is.
I felt like I caught a little bit of that matchup, because I was over here doing things as well. But I felt like you said, those two women talented. I would like to see Deanna a little higher up on the main card at some point. I know they just bring her in. The rollout is there. Thunder Rosa, same for her. I know she just had a title shot, probably not so long ago, but about a month ago. So it's cool to see them out there. I'm not happy when you got the top stars on the pre-show, but entertaining nonetheless to start off the night. I wasn't mad at that right there to start off the night. It was so long of an event that I would have to. I didn't get to. I usually write everything down in front of me. I gotta like open up a page to get all the list right in front of me.
Just go to Tony Khan's Twitter.
Right?
You'll get it minute to minute. But
No
the other
shit.
match on the card was a trios match. I believe it was the Guns and or the Acclaimed
The
and Billy Gunn versus
Cage of Agony,
Gates of Agony.
which they now calling them Cage of Agony. That's really what they got. That's really what they called them. I thought I was hearing things. Two cages.
That's a name.
Yeah, Cage of Agony. Um, again, I'm not happy with how they just using Brian Cage. I'm not sure if like there's a reason for him being placed in factions and things like that. But how like what's your, do you not care
I,
about it at this
I
point?
can say the same. I can say the same thing about the Khan and Leona. This time last year, they were making their debuts in New Japan and Tag League and showing everybody, okay, maybe we are two of the top tags in the division. Let us run with it. We can do some stuff. Shit, if this was 20 years ago, they'd be a Vince McMahon wet dream right about now.
So now, do you think it hurt? So does it hurt, add, or does it do nothing for them to add Brian Cage and make this a trios?
If you're actually trying to put some sort of emphasis on the trios division this time around, I'm not mad at it. It's just that I'm honestly tired of seeing the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. They're slowly slipping into that Jericho go away heat for me.
Mm.
Max is terrible on the mic. 60-something-year-old Billy Gunn is literally carrying them on one shoulder. I would say both, but that aren't big enough for both of them.
Now, do you feel like where do you feel like the Acclaim go for here? Do they challenge for the trio title again? I thought they would. I think this has gone on longer than what I thought it would have. To be honest.
Yep. Well, here's the thing. So let's open Pandora's box for a minute, shall we?
Go ahead.
What happens if you split up Bowens and Caster.
Mm. I think Bowens gets lost in the shuffle a bit, and Caster attempts to do something on his own, but it would have to remain to be seen.
I say it's the other way around.
Think so?
Easily.
Mm.
Easily. Because Bowens has shown signs of having that next level charisma that a star would have. He's got a decent look on him. He's got some fairly good ring work. The thing is, the injury bug from time to time. But if he can stay healthy, I think he would ascend the ranks a lot quicker than Max. All Max has is the raps that
As
he
a se-
doesn't want to let
yeah,
go of.
as a serious competitor, yeah, I could see that. As for Max, I would just see him challenging for mid card titles, being a not, you know what he is now, essentially, like you said, just continue to
He'd be the
come
new
out, cut
Danhausen.
promos. Orange Cassidy, if the crowd sticks to him. I think he's losing a little bit of his steam. Like I remember when he used to come out and cut these raps while he's on his way to the ring, and you know the fans were really behind it. Sometimes they still are, but sometimes I think
He
it's
ran
more
out of
shock
ideas.
value. Yeah, it's more shock value as to why he's getting the pops to some of the things he's saying.
And now he's barely even getting a pop. A lot of it is just, why'd you even say that?
It's kind of a reach sometimes. It's kind of a reach. It kind of does more harm than it's kind of like it'd be good him saying that if they were a heel tag team, right? Like,
I don't even think that would save him at this with some of those raps he puts out on pay-per-views.
but at least they'll get heat from it, right? Boo! They'll generate the heat from it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but again, with some of them, yes, but with the majority of how his recent ones have been, I think we're still in the same position that we are now. It's just you'll get awkward crickets.
No reaction, man. So
Even now, when Bowens does the "Everybody Loves the Acclaimed Scissor Me Daddy" whatever in the crowd, I don't know if you saw a picture. There was a girl in the paper today. Didn't even bother looking at him.
yeah,
Usually they're all fighting to go for that. Not anymore.
yeah, it's kind of been getting played. It's the So do you think at some that they have to change the trios tag team championships from the scissors at some point? But I guess that's later down the road. That
Mm-hmm.
match, I think it belonged right there on the pre-show right there. The
They,
Acclaim
they
versus
had they had
Cage
their
of
they had
Agony.
their shot. Unfortunately, we're probably gonna do one more Bang Bang Gang versus the Acclaimed. That's how I was looking at it because this was part of a tournament according to the announcers.
Man, these dang
Yeah.
tournaments.
So for those that may not have caught him, the winner of the Acclaimed and Cage of Agony match would face the winner of Death Triangle and the Bang Bang Gang.
Mm. So we gonna see, yeah, and the Acclaim picks up the victory right there over. Again, like how do you like see? That's the thing that you got Brian Cage losing in a new faction. You mentioned the other brothers in the faction, Toa, and I forget the other guy's name
And
right
Bishop
now.
Khan.
There you go. Pardon, Bishop. You got the Acclaim going over. They already had their time. They already had their momentum. This is the time to shake it up, mix it up, give us something
Their
new.
time is long gone. Overstayed its welcome at this point.
And I feel like the Guns have gained so much momentum with the Bang Bang Club that like it's undeniable what they're doing to just like I guess pull them apart because Billy Gunn right now, like I don't think you go that route right now. So
But again, what do the Acclaimed have without Billy at this point?
I feel like arguably he made them. Arguably, like okay, yeah, they had their thing on their own where people wanted to. And this might be a hot take. Pardon me. I think like people wanted to root for Bowens because of who he was. You know what I'm saying? What he represented. So that was dope in itself. And the Acclaim, they have phenomenal work going on along with it at that time. But Billy Gunn helped them go over the edge with a lot of their work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It really helped them get over. So yeah, it would be interesting to see them without Daddy Ass. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
all tag teams are meant to last forever.
That's a good point right there. You want to get into the next one right there to start off the double or nothing
And it was a fun one. It was Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong for which title was it again? I lose track of them a lot.
international. I gotta say this slowly before I say intercontinental. It's the international championship.
Because Okada
AEW
has the Continental Championship.
Continental. Yeah, so I'll be
God damn it,
combining the
Tony.
two. Which I kind of like, and oh man, then they announced. Matter of fact, can we also talk about the announcement? The
Lead away.
all right. So I know I text you on the side, and it could have went either way. To me, it's just a huge coincidence. King of the Ring go the winner of the King of the Ring tournament go and the Queen of the Ring tournament goes on to challenge for the heavyweight of their brand at SummerSlam. And tonight we get the breaking news that the winner of the Owen Cup tournament will challenge for the AEW championship. Do you think WWE pulled a sleazy move? Like, was there any?
I
Or is
mean,
this just pure coincidence? I might be fishing here, Chad, but
I think it's a little bit coincidence because I think the King of the Ring was just try something new, whatever. Because again, you see it all over the place, whether it be AEW, New Japan, or whatever. Something new, something different, because they never really had a clear cut vision for King of the Ring. Usually, it was this title, and that was it. So it's like, okay,
I
they'll
read
get the
online
title,
too.
and
I didn't catch it, but did you hear Michael Cole justify the reason why, or he didn't really justify, but he had mentioned Brock Lesnar was the last one to win King of the Ring and challenge at SummerSlam uh for the title or something. They tried to bring up that fact right there. Did you hear that on
you
commentary?
know what's funny? I forgot all about that. I forgot he was in that 2002 tournament.
Yeah. So
Because
I don't know.
that's when he just ran right through the Rock at SummerSlam, huh?
Yeah, become the youngest champion at that point, no?
How soon we forget?
But I just thought it was interesting because Owen's a former King of the Ring winner, right? So
Owen Hart, yes.
yeah, so it was just all the tie-ins this weekend, the announcement.
But
It
I believe the female Owen Hart tournament was the first TBS champion, so I think that was already a thing for them.
okay, okay.
Same with when Adam Cole won his. I think I know at least the women
Didn't they
brought a
have
new
a
championship.
title? Didn't they have a championship
They had
along with the
something.
cup? Yeah, I
I
remember
want
they
to say
gave.
yes.
Was it Dax that had won the cup before?
Even when Adam and Brett won that year, I think they got something on the lines of that.
Yeah, I think Adam. Yeah, you're right. Adam and Britt got well, where's Britt been? But yeah, Adam and Britt had one, and I remember them having the pink Owen championships. But getting into the first match of the night, AEW International Championship, Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong. I'm not gonna lie, that was an exciting way to start the match, or the night, I should say. Is- You can expect nothing but the best from these two, best caliber around the world,
Roddy's a class act, consummate professional,
man.
and
I
again,
don't want to say he's underrated, but to the cat, like I've been around people that don't know wrestling, right? Like I could cut the TV on and put wrestling on, and let's say they wouldn't know who Roderick Strong is, and I could put a match on for them, and after that they're gonna be like, whoa, like that guy, he goes hard, like you know what I'm saying? And he's just one of those. I don't want to say he's underrated because real wrestling fans know who he is, but to the casual, he's not a household name. But man,
I could beg to differ on that because again, those that saw his brief run during Triple H's Black and Gold NXT saw that he could go, and then
mhm.
Vince slaughtered him, whatever. Triple H brought him back down, threw him with
I think
the
that
Undisputed
Diamond
Era.
Mine, Diamond Mine kind of slowed down that little momentum for him on NXT. They had him
Yeah,
do. They had him doing. He put on some good matches over there, but again, he's ushering in the Creed brothers, Damon Kemp. So
he wasn't ready for that role yet. He still had a lot left in the tank. Had he been
yeah,
about 5, 10 years older, maybe you can make that argument. Now it's time for him to have his own faction, but he's still got a lot more to do.
yeah, it definitely felt weird at that time too. Like you said, him leading that faction, they had a few members like rotating doors in and out one week, and so I'm glad to see that. I feel like this is the best footing for him that I've seen in a while. Cause like you said, he had that momentum in the black and gold, Triple H NXT brand. When it came to Vince's brand, he kind of got lost in that shuffle over there. So I'm glad to see he's doing his thing over here in AEW. Anything else you want to add on to that one?
um, let's touch on the subtle story that's brewing between Don Callis wanting Will to unretire the Tiger Driver.
Mm.
That was some unexpected fun right there.
Now, what do you feel is behind that?
I think that again, Bully Ray likes to make the comparisons of professional wrestling to Star Wars a lot. This could be the point in which Don Callis playing uh, Emperor Palpatine, Osprey could be Anakin Skywalker, and Kyle Fletcher could be the future Padawan or the other cohort. Seeing Will go to the dark side, so we could be seeing Fletcher versus Osprey down the line for this very title that he just won.
Mm. I could see that.
Maybe
It
even a
it
Jeff Cobb.
it'll add more layers to why we're seeing Will associated with the Don Callis family as well. We could probably lay something in right there.
Again, Don's very good. He's not like a Paul Heyman level telling the story, but he can cook us some stuff if you give him the right pieces and the right time to work with.
I just feel like yeah, Don is one of those guys also on screen, like aside from what he does outside of like behind the scenes and stuff, just on screen, his character, man, he's a great heel manager. Every time I see him, it's like, man, this guy, he looks like a shady club promoter. Like, I'm just waiting for the business to go wrong with this guy.
Him and Paul Heyman are a dying breed.
Nah, seriously, you don't see that too much. And there's no knock on managers right now, but I feel like it's a what we always say, the learning tree, the learning umbrella, who you learn from. Um, that type of stuff, it's just it has to be grandfathered. I feel like some people could pick it up, get nuances from a distance, from away, but like you said, those are guys that been in the business, just like when
I was gonna
Bobby the
say,
Brain, like
I
guys
was gonna
that been
say,
around.
because folks, man, I know Don Callis been in the game a long time.
Oh yeah,
He's seen
seasoned
it all.
veterans. Yeah, these are seasoned veterans. You know what I'm saying? Definitely great stuff going on right there. I would say that undeniably, with we're gonna get to Okada in a second, but the importance of the international championship to my eyes just went up. The value just went up.
Time will
Roderick Strong
tell.
had it there. Roderick Strong had it there. This type of match right here definitely put that, okay, I gotta watch for this type of title. This is the type of matches we're gonna have.
I'm not holding my breath just yet because again, let's see where they go with this. More
I
often
would
than
say that is
not,
it.
they'll get our hopes up for something, and then they could piss it away in the blink of an eye. Let's see where they go from here. Will can hold his own, but again, don't have Will do everything.
Oh no, we
Let's
can't
see
have
how he
that.
works with others. Again, let's see how he works with others because we know him to do one style, maybe two, and now he's in a role to where he's going to lead the ship now.
Yeah, cause what I envision is the last person before Roderick to hold the title was Orange Cassidy, right?
Yep.
I feel like those matches I would go into like, man, I don't think the opponent was gonna beat Orange Cassidy, so I wouldn't even really care the stock of the match. the wrestling itself was good, but I didn't really feel when I seen Cassidy go against Roderick Strong. I knew that's when I had to watch. Okay, we got something there. Just like tonight, Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay. Remember, we were talking about this leading into it. Like, okay, Will's gonna be the
Yeah,
one to take it off him.
and what I said was, no one's gonna follow this match. But I'll get to that later. But let's go on to what soon followed that match, in which the kid is back. Our scumbag has returned. And may I add, homeboy looking darker than me now. He got that late 90s Hulk Hogan tan, brother.
Again, it just feels like the whole Adam Cole stuff was rushed. You know what I mean? I understand. They felt like they needed something. Players were going down.
Oh yeah. Then we had Adam Cole cut a weirdly suspicious, strange, odd, uncomfortable promo that was a hot bucket of ass. I was trying to skip that, go to the good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, and it just reminded me because it's like you have that promo and then you get MJF right after bringing the energy back up. It's like, yeah, all right, I could see the
Here it is.
trajectory.
Forget waiting; it's gonna happen anyways. Here it is.
Yep.
And again, now does this happen at Forbidden Door next month or Wembley the fall a couple months after that?
I think knowing Tony, he's gonna draw this out. He's gonna
If
draw
he's
this
smart, he'll draw this out.
because this is if MJF Adam Cole, this dating back, so this isn't something new. This has been long term this has been long term I can't speak. Long term storytelling at its finest with them right now for that.
But here's the problem. I would be on board for it had they been doing something with Adam Cole these last few months anyways, whether it's pre-tape, vignettes, or whatever, anything.
I agree.
Again,
they've been having him.
My issue with Tony is, again, MJF came out just for the pop the Vegas crowd. That was about it. You could have held this in the jar for a few weeks, maybe a month or whatever, as long as you wanted, because you knew folks were going to be invested in MJF teachers here and there. They'll tune in just for that. You could have built some of that audience back, little by little, teasing them, whatever. Nope, here it is.
No, that's his specialty right there. Here it is.
But you had some very choice words about this. His new tattoo.
Man, I felt like this was a classic gotcha moment. Just to get the crowd behind him again. Once again, like, yeah, it doesn't mean to me you're an AEW lifer. I sent my boy Razor the photo. He's giving me Jason Terry vibes. Jason Terry won a championship with the Dallas Mavericks, right? He goes over to the Boston Celtics and gets the Celtics logo. And then he gets traded from the Celtics to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I'm not saying AEW is going to trade him. But what I'm saying, though, is a tattoo on your skin just means you've been there. You showed love to the company.
What about every dumb motherfucker that gets drunk after the draft and says, our team's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah. Like, man, anything can happen from then. I'm not saying, what if AEW, like, eventually just goes out of business and he has to find work elsewhere? You know what I'm saying? So it could mean that he's going to be there for the upcoming years, for years to be seen, but I'm not putting too much stock into that.
To keep it on a positive note, I will say this: his return is very much needed. The question is he healed all the way, or is this going to be a Mercedes Moné moment, which he's here, but he's technically not here because he's still healing for who knows how long? Now, granted, he's probably the only guy there that he can work with it. He can make it work, but you're still asking an awful lot for him being back this soon with what he's got to rebuild. Because again, last time we saw him, AEW's viewership had about 200,000 more people.
I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna want to milk his appearances. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's to cut a promo, just something. Oh, MJF's gonna be, in the ring tonight, talking about Double or Nothing return. They're
I've
gonna
seen
want him
Tony
around.
open his mouth at the media scrum yet about that.
Oh yeah, man.
assuming he does the media scrum.
I'm surprised. I usually go check for that. Also, I haven't even.
I got it. I got it here in a second. Where's this bitch at?
Man, I'm scared to even go check it on YouTube through here while we live because I might get. Man, the last time I messed around with some of their stuff, man,
Yeah,
Tony, ease
he
up,
gets a little tender about that.
ease up, Tony.
Make sure my volume's off or very very low.
Who's at the podium? They started.
It started a little while ago. They got Will talking right now.
Okay, okay.
So Tony will probably be on in about 10, 15 minutes, maybe. Yeah, around that time, maybe 20.
So yeah,
He looks
then you
like
got
hell.
just yeah, he did today. I'm not gonna lie, his shirt looked like he didn't have it fully
Oh,
buttoned. I don't know if that was.
we'll get to
I ain't gonna
that.
lie, it looked like somebody wrangled this man out the chair. Like, oh, he just ain't sleeping 3 days. I don't know, like, I don't know. It was just one of the.
We'll get to that.
It's kind of why I don't wear suits all the time, cause like, what if you wear a button down shirt and it's not pressed the right way, it's gonna look crazy fast. That's all I'm saying. Unified Trios Championship. The Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle.
It was fine. Again, folks forget that Jay White. Again, before we get to that, I'm still almost certain that this was Jay White's first pay-per-view on the main card. I don't know. I can't recall any time he's been on the main card. Usually he's on the pre-show. I think he won the belt on the pre-show.
Yeah.
So again, he should have been there a long time ago.
I feel like, was he in a fatal 4-way? Nah, it might have not.
That could have been a Collision or a Rampage, or maybe even a Dynamite.
For real.
But again,
that's insane. His first time on the main.
But again,
that's what happens.
The match was fun.
Really insane. Yeah, it's not. It's insane, but it's not insane. It's just when you look at comparison, who gets a slot on a match, like the other match between Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. I don't favor that being on the match. I get why it's there. Like, long show placement. That's the time. People need to go take a break and stuff like that.
Yep.
But back to the Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle. Death Triangle getting that look, but ultimately they lost to the Bang Bang Gang.
But before we get into that, my GOAT is back.
Juice.
I am rock hard as we speak.
He's back. How you felt about that? Obviously, you said that's your GOAT, so I know you was hype about it, man.
Hell yeah. Now, again, hopefully no more dumb shit. But again, like I said before, his personality cannot be contained by just the Bang Bang Gang unless it leads to a Jay White versus Juice Robinson matchup. And those two have great chemistry together. Me personally, I'd like to see Juice teamed up with his wifey, Toni Storm. And let them just do whatever the fuck they want, almost like a Joker and Harley Quinn type of gimmick.
That'd be crazy too.
But let's see what they got lined up for Juice.
Wild. It's crazy too, cause I think probably last episode or a few episodes again, you had mentioned his name and the fact that they were missing him. So just to see him back on the pay-per-view back, that's fire. You know what I'm saying?
So again, AEW, Tony, 2 of your heavy hitters are back. Don't fuck this up.
We gonna see. We shall see. There's a lot of players in the game right now, so it's like, I guess it's easy to say don't fuck things up, but
But
You
also
know how
like
to.
how
Go
between them
ahead.
and Darby being back, how healthy physically are they at the same time?
It's like what you say all the time. It's the how do we get there? Well, for like Tony, like you like to say, it's just a tweet away. That's how we get there, right? It's just a tweet
Mm-hmm.
away.
Yep.
Man, but transitioning from
Oh, oh
Rock
God,
Hard Juice Robinson. Yep.
they
Who's
got
on?
Tony Storm doing her usual media scrum moment right now.
Oh, she's roasting. Yeah, she's roasting right now. Nah, that's fire though
Tony,
that she stayed.
just
Yeah,
book Wendy Richter already. Just let it happen.
that's fine. She got her own little post like thing that she do. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like some people don't like to be there. She just taking it as an advantage, more TV time. You know what I mean?
Again, it's a character. Very few of what AEW currently has.
But she was under that umbrella. You know what I mean? Under the machine at one point. She knows. You know.
But with her, much like Rhea, they're also two women that even on the Indies they already had an idea of something there. They just had to have that door be open for them once for them to show what they can do.
Giving the
Unfortunately,
green light too.
In Tony's case, Vince just said, Triple H, you can't have her. We don't need her. Boom, boom, boom. Look what she's done in AEW. Talk
They had
about an
her
entire
taking pies to the
reinvention.
face. Yeah, they had her taking pies to the face in WWE. And for some reason, I feel like the way that WWE layers stuff out sometimes, I feel like this character might not work over there. I like it over here though. But I don't know if like
This one specifically, no, in this day and age, I'm afraid.
it's because of
But
production. It's because of how WWE would produce it. That's why.
well, honestly, if Triple H get his hands on it, solely even a Paul Heyman, you
It
probably
might be
get a
golden,
more.
polished. Yeah, it's gonna be if you let one of them touch it, yeah, it might get crazy. I'm not gonna
You're
lie.
gonna get Kill Bill meets Pulp Fiction overnight.
But you seen what they doing with EO Sky? I'm not gonna lie. Like I felt like we gonna just not to go too far left, Chad. I just want to talk about what they doing. They had EO Sky doing vignettes on Raw, and it was similar to what they had Shinsuke doing. And I was just like, man, I don't know how I felt about that. It was cool to see something different, but I'm like, man, it would only if y'all didn't do it for Shinsuke. And then they tried the same stuff with Xia Li.
Does EO even need a repackaging? To be honest,
Nah, I feel like
that's the
maybe
thing.
yeah,
Like, should
change the gear a little bit. That's it. Like make but nothing crazy. Not a whole repackage. Nah.
that's what it feels like. We're getting a repackaging, which is concerning to me.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want to go too far left, but that was just it, y'all. In terms of how the WWE produce the production of some of their characters over there. The next match of the night though was Timeless Tony Storm versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's World Championship. How'd you feel about it?
Now, I could have saw this match going either way, to be honest. But
Okay.
what definitely caught my attention was the crowd, because leading up to this, they built this whole comeback sob story, and she didn't even get a lick of love.
Mm. Nah, I
That
felt that
crowd was
though.
1000% behind Tony. I'm just like, wasn't this supposed to be built the other way around?
I mean, I just think
And
it's
she
more
was
like what
wearing
you
she
said.
was wearing on her face a couple times too. It's like, really? This is how you feel?
It's kind of like what we said going into it. Serena Deeb is a tough competitor, and she's just there to put Tony Storm over. That's the overall feel. I don't like it's tough to just see. You don't see Serena Deeb on TV for so long, and then expect her to just become champion. It's like I
That's
don't see
true.
that. Yeah,
But that's one of those why tell the story that you did in the first place, because just made her look bad.
Yeah, because usually the last I seen of Serena, it was like she was really badass. So to like play this sob story, it's like I was kind of like, you know, we got to go on with the show. You got to put on a story. But
But
I
again,
thought it was a
that
cool
doesn't take.
match.
Yeah, again, if you rewatch the show and you just mute the crowd, mute the commentary, it's a solid match. It wasn't going to disappoint. There were times where Tony got a little gassed, but other than that, it was solid. So the match probably could have been cut back a couple minutes or two. I don't think it needed to be that long.
I know that ROH should be its own entity, but I've been wanting Athena somewhere on one of these matches. I would like that. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see her get more spotlight, even if it's on a pre-show, because I understand ROH is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be under AEW, but in terms of AEW purchased ROH, so AEW can really say ROH, y'all under me, y'all under us. So in terms of
Which
that,
again is a shame because that talent roster is still absolutely loaded for what it is, for what's left there.
and you just went away with the ROH trios or the 6-man belt. So
So it's now the unified trios belts.
and it's not only unified, but okay, they don't have a name though. Okay, so it's just unified. I thought they put the AEW name on it. It's just unified for now.
It was pitched as the unified trios championships. That's it.
Which is still kind of that
So
was the name of the
so
AEW belts though, right? The trios.
yeah, but now instead of AEW and ROH, it's just. I mean, I'm sure the commentary might touch on it. I didn't quite catch it, but we'll see. But another thing, like Mark Briscoe won their world championship almost 2 months ago. No mention of him anywhere.
The only time I
Another
hear mention is when
world
they're
champion
using
when they're using his brother, unfortunately.
yeah, whenever they're using a few pieces to move around, that's the only time you'll hear of a ROH. But in terms of like, I think they should really make ROH a brand, a competing brand with Dynamite and Collision. I think it'll be fun. It'll be a way
And again,
to. Mhm.
folks are gonna hate me for this, but Tony's got to sell it to someone that's gonna actually invest in them.
It's kind of like he's holding them hostage right now, for real.
It's exactly what it is.
And I felt it was only for the library. I told you that. I
Yeah,
felt it
and
was for
he
the
said
library.
yeah, and again, yeah, you got a 20-year library. You're not promoting shit you doing nowadays.
That's insane.
He's probably killed what that library is worth as far as value, anyways.
No, I mean historically, I feel like for me, ROH is at the aside from the last year when they was close, like in that stage of closing when Josh Gresham was the champion, but like feel like right now is like the most weirdest time of ROH, like no identity whatsoever. If we talk about no identity with AEW, there's really no
Ring
identity
of
with
Honor
ROH.
isn't even a shell of what it used to be. It's less than that.
Yeah, that's insane.
Which is sad because a boatload of your homegrown AEW day ones, that's where they cut their teeth, and that's who you did their home.
Yeah, that's insane. And then the fact that like to me, you don't have a Cesaro on. Like I don't know. I felt like Cesaro had his look right, and then he lost it. Another one that at one point had the Ring of Honor World Championship, and it didn't feel very World Championship like to me at all.
Felt like just another title reign. Like there's nothing special about it. You had something potentially with Eddie Kingston and Instead of letting that slow burn, you just threw it out there.
Mm.
You had something with Mark Briscoe, you just threw it out there. You could have had something with Samoa Joe, and then you could just drift away from that.
Do you feel like there's so many titles, or they need so many titles because there's so much talent?
If Ring of Honor was its own show and you dropped Rampage or Collision and you gave whichever surviving one their own show, you could probably justify it. But as it is right now, you could cut half the belts and it'll mean nothing.
No, I could definitely see that. The next match of the night, Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. Again, I said this. I could have went without this.
Eh.
One of those break matches right there.
But I think a lot of people were anticipating or hoping Beretta would win, much like myself. Because again, like his concern, much like many, is again, you lost to a guy that does next to nothing.
That's the tough part about, like, I remember people having stories about getting booked with the Fiend, like, oh, it's hard to have a match with the Fiend because he's indestructible, and how do you have a match with Orange Cassidy though, where it's like, you basically got a job to him in a sense that you can't even really get your full stuff off either in that match.
Did you happen
Like,
to
you
see
can, but you can't.
his rec? Did you happen to catch what they posted his record was when they put his name out on the ticker?
Nah,
He's like 51-2 in his last like 53 matches for singles competition.
that's crazy.
There's no reason for him to be booked that strong.
Yeah, that's tough. I feel like that's a marketing employee right there. Like, it was that point where everybody was dressing like him. You had kids dressing like him.
And again, you would assume that, again, say Orange, for example, maybe hit the gym, put out some muscle, whatever, try to elevate his game or something. No, he's been the same dude that he was before AEW even signed him. Only difference now is that he talks.
Yeah, there's no evolution in the character arc for him right there. And I guess this is just a way to hopefully just separate Trent from them. I hope this is no longer a continuation. We don't see more of this right here. It needs to be over with, done.
To be honest, that finish of that match kind of gave me some ominous vibes to. I want to say it was an old Teen Slammiversary between John Morrison and Austin Aries. Aries took the loss, walked out, gave the crowd double bird, and left the place.
Yeah, I
And he was
remember
done.
that.
This kind of gave me vibes of that.
Oh, so you
Like,
think Trent might be on the way out?
that's what I'm thinking. Because of this, there's been talks that a lot of contracts are coming up very, very soon.
Mm. That is
And
interesting.
now I don't see Beretta going back to WWE per se. I can see him going back to New Japan because he's loved over there.
Yeah.
And he'll be taken care of over there.
I could see that in the play right there for him. Talk about people that's on their way out. Is the next match any indication of what's to come with Hook? FTW Championship. Chris Jericho, Hook, Katsuyori Shibata. How you feel
This was
about this?
where, again, as far as the show as a whole, this is the first inclination where instead of going this way, it just went.
I think
Because
the AEW, from what I see on Twitter, nobody wants to see Jericho on the screen. I'm a fan of the
What
legend.
was the
He's
purpose
overstayed.
of Brian Keith?
Mm.
The man who just lost to both, who tapped out to Hook and Shibata before this match.
That's facts. He was a sacrificial lamb in the whole process.
What? This is part of Jericho's learning tree or whatever. He just tapped out to both of them.
That's insane. I mean, yeah,
But
we got to see what his learning tree angle goes. I just think it's another ploy for Jericho to be on top. You know, we spoke about this self booking right there.
how lucky was Big Bill missing that table arm?
Man,
That was close. Let's not sell that short one bid. That could have went ugly real quick.
real quick. I wish I could play that on the again though. We can't put anything up because copyrights. So you know what I'm saying. But I'm pretty sure you guys can find that if you look hard enough on Twitter.
Interesting. Tony Khan has Tanahashi on the panel right now.
Mm.
Probably promote Forbidden Door, but still interesting.
And when is Forbidden Door?
June 30th, I believe, is when they announced it.
Okay,
And
okay.
it will not be at Arthur Ashe Stadium for the first time ever.
Mm. Will it be in New York?
It's still gonna be in New York, I think, or I think it may be in Jersey, but still, it's definitely in that vicinity.
Okay, a little switch up in the venue right there.
It's a little bit smaller than Arthur Ashe, from what I've heard. So that shall be something.
Yes, sir. Chris Jericho came out on top with the FTW Championship in that match. You know, we got our next favorite type of matchups next. IWGP World Title Eliminator. This is where you get eliminated from contention. You want to
The
break
match
this down
the
for
match
us?
was fine. The match was fine. I mean, Takeshita, it's unfortunate with him because he started out with AEW so hot, and lately he's been very open and about him not feeling appreciated. He's not sure if it's a racial thing or there's be too many bodies in the locker room, but he feels he should be at least utilized a little bit more efficiently over there. Yes, you have him in a little squash match against Matt Sydal, and then you have him go almost half an hour with Moxley in a losing effort in a match that, again, had he not put a limited match, had it just been a regular singles match, would have been just fine. But knowing that it's an eliminator and because it's Moxley and it's in Vegas, his hometown or current residence, he wasn't losing because it's Moxley. He's their Superman.
I mean, and to his point though, and I feel he's very talented. Maybe he could have been holding on to the international championship at one point over Cassidy, or maybe the continental.
Or even the TNT.
Right. Oh,
Again,
three belts that were held. They were strangled. Yeah, those were three belts that were held by competitors that arguably you could say, okay, we could put the belt on Kanesuke. You know what I'm saying?
now, granted, Takeshita, he's still young in the game. His better years are upon him. But still, as talented as that kid is, you can't find nothing for him.
I'm
After
pretty
he
sure
came
they
out
could.
as hot as he did, like Don Callis said for the first time, the first man ever to beat Kenny Omega twice within a 7-day period.
Yeah,
He
they
came with a
definitely
lot of
dropped.
steam. At Wembley last year, beat the dog shit out of Kota Ibushi. Like, you can't find nothing for this guy as impressive as he is? Or Could Kenny Omega now have the CM Punk stink? Possibility. We getting all the tinfoil outs today.
Man, I keep looking down. Every time I look down, I'm just looking down at the card at my phone, and I'm just visualizing the pay-per-view over again, because usually I write down notes and things that happen, key things in the match, but I didn't get to do that today. And yeah, you know what sticks out to me? I don't know if it's like so in character, but just every time John Moxley, like whenever he wins a match and then he just storms off like upset, like he just throws the title, like I'm just tired of this shit. Like, he does a real good job at selling his
But
character for
again,
sure.
but this match felt like New Japan John Moxley, not AEW John Moxley.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that I again, as critical as I am of the man, again, I thought it was a very solid match for what it was.
Mox
Definitely
knows
one of
how
his
to hit
better
that
ones in a
switch.
while.
Yeah, Mox knows how to hit that switch for sure. I feel like he makes, even though it was like an eliminator, like could he have lost his title in that match? Because I felt like I heard Excalibur say he defended his title. Like
had
somebody said he defended.
Takeshita would have won, he would have been guaranteed a shot at the title.
And like, yeah, just that in itself, it being an eliminated match, they made that match. Well, obviously, Takeshita's gonna make it feel good.
For example, had Takeshita would have won, New Japan's got Dominion coming up. Takeshita could have said, "I won in that match. Make that a triple threat right now." And AEW could have pulled the power trip over that, or it could have been at another point in time. Could have been Dynamite, whatever. But Takeshita would have then been the number one contender.
Just a way right here to use New Japan's name right here, the IWGP Championship in the pay-per-view. Not a bad look for AEW. They know what they're doing right there. Next match of the night, right here. This is the talking point since Wednesday. Since yes.
Wait.
Get right. Man,
what?
You make me want to run off and get something. Man, like, where's my get rights? We've been waiting since the bloodbath.
We all knew it was coming. We all had ideas of what it could have been and all that. For what it ultimately was at the start, I'm going to be honest, just another cage match. This could have been so much more. And let me begin. Let me adjust myself. First thing you see on Edge's Jumbotron, the Brood. Edge comes out in his regular gear. Now, some may argue in his old gear, he did have the black on red or whatever. What to do? He didn't have the shirt, didn't have the glasses or whatever. That was not Brood Edge. That was Temu, Wish.com, bootleg eBay Brood Edge.
That was Edge versus Finn Balor when he came out with that whole red getup at WrestleMania.
That was a little bit better.
It was because I'm telling you, the WWE production. The thing is too, like,
to detail.
There's no way. I'm gonna be honest. There's no way.
The production, you could do without the production if you point attention to the smallest of details. You can get away with all the other bullshit.
I think AEW could have at least did the song right, bro.
Again, even if that's a WWE song they didn't let go of, that's fine. You could remix it like the way they did Metalingus. What was keeping Edge from putting on the Victorian shirt, the black pants, the dark glasses, the frameless glasses or whatever? What was stopping you from that? The small attention to detail. You already put Brood on the bitch.
I'm not gonna lie, too. Watching him come out that tiny ass Cody Vader out the tiny ass Brood Vader.
No, again, that was fine. Again,
bro, that shit was like it looked like a little bot. I remember when obviously it's gonna be larger because there was 3 coming out. Remember old Raws, the big circle with the ring of fire, and they rising up.
Look what the Elite got in the main event. again, a small attention to detail could have saved this. I told one of my boys
I
this.
feel you saved the
Make it
fruit.
make it legitimately meaningful, like you cared about this, like we cared about this back in the day.
So would you have? This is what I would have done. I'd have probably held back on the Brood entrance. If I'm gonna save Gangrel as a surprise, why do the Brood entrance?
You could have did that, but then again, me personally, I would have liked to see like just the solid black trunks, or maybe like I said, the old Victorian shirt, or some little Easter egg to that. So to when we got past that normal ass cage match, you did a little light thing or whatever. Malachi Black does his little early bird tweaking. Then you hit the Brood song. Out comes Gangrel, spit blood at everybody.
I'm
Again,
not
but
gonna
it goes
get
back to my
into
point.
that part.
Small attention to detail.
Get into that part right there. I want to talk about. I don't know if there was something in the arena that might have been delayed. I felt like Malachi Black started looking around a little too soon, selling the moment too soon.
The effects could have been a little late, to be honest.
Like maybe a sound went off that I didn't hear that they heard in the arena that was giving him that cue, and then the lights just felt like it took a little long to get there. You know?
It's almost like the Trev forgot. Oh yeah, we gotta do this.
Yeah, right. So, but I'm gonna be honest though, with taking that away, seeing Gangrel spit the
It was fun.
blood,
It
it
was
was fun.
fun.
It was cool. It was seeing him nail his
But
DDTs.
again, it's like again, at least having a sense of appreciation for it when you put the effort into it, like we appreciated it back in the day. It could have been so much more.
Yeah, it was a nostalgia grab. I'm sorry to say. Um, we've been saying it. Some people playing their greatest hits, and right now, Edge is playing a classic remix of his greatest hits right now.
And something that we never got to really see in WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We've
that
wanted it for so
reunion.
long. Now, granted, a lot of us would have preferred the full brood of Edge, Christian, and Gangrel, but again, for what it was, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big how do we get there? You know what I'm saying? The way that Malachi laid out Gangrel though, phenomenal. Black Mass dropped him. Great way to you know, put that little flame out right there, so to speak.
But again, all in all, aside from the small tidbit at the very end, it was just another cage match.
Yeah, I didn't really. I felt it was cringy to see somebody get wrapped in barbed wire to a table. It's like I gotta lay there
That was different.
like yeah, just wrap me, and Edge is really going under the table, grabbing the ball. Like I,
So
I felt
that
like it
reminded
took
me.
too long.
Yeah, again, another match that you probably could have cut back quite a bit to where you could have squeezed the Anarchy in the Arena in at the 4 hour mark.
And maybe too, like I told you this on the text. That wasn't thought out well to me. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wrap you in barbed wire, and it just looked cringy. Edge having to roll under the table from time. Maybe if it was like the other way around, like the House of Black is rolling up Edge, and because you got one passing the other one the barbed wire, it could be done. You know what I'm saying? It was just, and then they did the
Yeah.
spot with the barbed wire over the head. They was getting they just got a little crazy. I felt like they was going extra in that match that they didn't have to do. The use of barbed
But
wire, it was just
like I said, that's one of those they definitely could have cut out about 15-20% out of that bullshit out of the way and just hurried up and got to the Gangrel spot because that's what they're waiting for anyways.
yeah. I think if they would have went with a concept of like an old I don't know if Impact did this. I remember ECW doing this in the Elimination Chamber match where they got the weapons like you could pull down
Oh,
from the
TNA
cage.
had that. It was called Monsters Ball.
Yeah, so like
They
if they
still
would
do
have
it to this day.
If they would have had like a barbed wire, this all the weapons are wrapped in barbed wire. Like, okay, I'm like, all right, but this little one little like ring of barbed wire around the top of the cage, it was yeah.
And now onward to the first of our triple main event.
Man, when he said that, I lost it. Cause my boy Buddha
Now,
was literally asking me. He was like, "Is when he seen the TNT Championship match, he said, is the event almost over?" Then Excalibur said, "On to the triple main event." I was like, man,
now, the nerve of Mercedes Moné comparing herself to all those women in her VTR leading into her walkout. She's got the bar set kind of high for herself, doesn't she?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been a fan of her work since she's left WWE. Um, it's just something to me about when you wearing that stamp that you the greatest. It's kind of like what they do to LeBron James. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna call it out what it is. Don't welcome your thoughts. When you say you the king, when you say you the best, and you go to the finals 10 years in a row and you lose, people want to just discredit your hard work and call you out on being the best and say, nah, Michael Jordan didn't lose.
I was gonna say he did he even see a Game 7?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's subjective how you see it. I think she could have been considered one of the best. The game has evolved. There's a lot of women right now that
And
that
she been at the
been
game
working.
for a minute too.
Like me
So
personally, I prefer Charlotte over. I think Charlotte is the GOAT to me of the females right now.
let's cut through the bullshit. Your thoughts on her winning over Willow?
I wasn't a fan of it. I had Willow winning this. I think AEW dropped the ball on their homegrown title. Right now they just opened Pandora's box. Now now it's fair for for especially for that
Anyone
title.
can show up, say they got name value. I want the belt.
Yep.
Just
That's what
like
that
what
said to
Moxley
me.
did with the IWGP belt in Chicago when he beat Naito for it. He said, I want it. Tony, give it to me.
That's what that said to me right there. It's kind of like with the exception of CM Punk, he did like a little. I guess it was still in that ranking system, so he had to like put on a few matches before or warm up before he got to the championship. But we knew what was coming. We knew he was gonna win that damn belt.
But he
Soon
was
as he,
also having matches leading up to it. This was
yeah,
her fucking debut match. This was Paige beating Nikki Bella in the Divas era.
yeah, yeah. And again, we keep saying things that AEW should do and they don't do because they're worried about looking like WWE, and then they turn around and do shit that they feel is not gonna look like WWE. That actually turns out to be some shit WWE would do, just the shit that we wouldn't like that WWE does.
And not even as good.
Yeah, like you don't even do it as good. Like at least like we remember the bad shit. Some of this shit is forgettable, like for real. Like,
But the bad shit, that don't go away.
man, like
Now, the unfortunate part with this match was it was all just cannon fodder for what we're likely going to get in Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. A match that should have been for a championship. Now it's going to be just a normal grudge match. Again,
they dropped the
Tony
ball with that.
working bass backwards.
He got a chance right there to make Statlander a two-time champion, or just even make Willow look that much more strong with the championship and defeating Mercedes tonight and then Chris.
It'd be a match folks wanted because they could have said, okay, Willow's 2-0 on Mercedes, that's done. They still celebrate. Bam! She still hits her with the clothesline.
Yeah, but still, you could have still had the same.
This is a layup. There couldn't have been an easier layup for this.
Or like now that you mentioned that, now that now that they need a rubber match, it's 1-1, so they want to book, they want to get the rubber match. Now where they do that at? Do they just do it on the regular fucking Dynamite?
Well, here's the thing. The problem in question: do you do it at Wembley or do you do it at All Out? Because they won't go past that.
I guess I
But
mean,
at the same time,
you
how
can book it at
long do
Wembley,
you?
but
But here's the thing. So All Out's like is 2 weeks after Wembley, but maybe even 3. But how much time do you give Willow versus Statlander? Because that could be something.
I mean, if they go at this rubber match and another interference is at play, that's another setup right there.
But again, that Willow versus Statlander alone doesn't need any extra anything else.
Nope. And then that's
It's
why
just how long do you let it breathe?
yeah, if Statlander causes Willow the rematch for her championship,
I'm saying you could do that match down the road, because say you get the belt back on Willow, it's gonna make the belt meaningless.
right? It's been Death
Let
Valley right
Mercedes
now
have her
tonight.
toy with it again. What? Let's see, but at the same time, it's like, who do you have challenge Mercedes
For the TBS championship? Who would they typically
personally?
I think, hold on. What if they start
Julia.
getting okay, so you think they'll give up one of those? I think this is where they might get Saraya in that bag. No?
I want her nowhere near this. Nowhere near this whatsoever.
Dream matchups, dream AEW matchups.
What, last time they shared a ring together, Mercedes broke her fucking neck.
Man.
I keep Saraya as far away from the title picture as possible, at least right now. Saraya is who I'd probably have down in Ring of Honor working towards a match with Athena, if anything.
And Julia Hart, if she challenges, that would be her second goal.
She just had a lengthy reign with the TBS belt. This would be a solid test for her as someone that the crowd would actually want. Who else would there be, legitimately, that's been active? Do you just give Tony both belts?
Riho. Riho.
What's sad is that could probably happen. That's what's fucking sad about this.
Wait on the announcement. You just gotta wait on it.
But again, realistically speaking, you could throw in a Julia Hart there. I can see a world where Toni Storm gets that belt too, and they just have her just be the queen pin of the division. I could see a world where you somehow get Britt Baker to come back into the fold. But again, it's one of those, how do we get there?
Right.
Again, it's a very thin list of folks that people would at least want to see. This is the tricky part. I mean, you could go Statlander, but it's like you got to have Statlander Willow before then.
I feel like I haven't like you just said, I haven't seen much from the females division outside of the same, the same
crop
circle
of
of women.
people.
Yeah. And I feel like since Jade left, that TBS championship has been in a it was going in the right direction.
I had hopes that it was going to open things up, but again, Tony's booking has no clue what he's doing. He's proven that time and time again.
Because
He
when
is
Jade
way
had
over his
that
head.
belt, it made sense. Like, okay, here you got this dominant female, but most of the competitors she was going against were people that she could beat convincingly up until she met Statlander and then lost to Statlander. But
Did Jade ever have a match with Nyla Rose?
I don't think so.
You see where I'm going with this? There's individuals there who you could have had stuff ready to go, especially when Nyla's valet is Vicky Guerrero. I think if that's still the case, but again, there's stuff there. You just got to use it. Put the
I
time
mean,
into it.
like even a lot of they could do a lot of building. Like when she had her group, the baddies. Feel like they were doing something with Layla Hart or Layla Gray. I don't know. I guess she's not there anymore. But
What Red Velvet? One of them.
yeah, Red,
One
Red
one of them.
Velvet,
One of them.
Layla
TNA, that's
Gray.
all I know.
Yeah, I remember they had something with them going on. What was the other girl name? Was her name Brooke Hogan? Was she ever signed to them to AEW?
I know she did some stuff on the side. I don't know if she was ever officially signed, to be honest.
They could I don't know because then it's like what's the real question is why aren't y'all giving newer people the same looks that y'all would give Julia Hart because
And,
she's still green, right?
and then think
Or
about
just
it. You
getting
have
in.
think about it. You have Athena in Ring of Honor, Mercedes Martinez in Ring of Honor. If she's still doing in ring stuff, you have Maria Kanellis, who shouldn't sleep on. Though she's always been more a valet, she can still do some stuff. You have a Serena Deeb. You have access to almost everybody in Japan that WWE has access to. You have female luchadoras that you have access to. Again, where's Taya been?
Yeah, that's What about I know John Morrison's in AEW. That's who you just mentioned. His wife.
Morrison, and Taya are signed to AEW.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I haven't.
Now they could be in the Ring
And
of
a
Honor
J
abyss, but who knows?
and a J.
She last I heard has been injured.
Okay.
But again, knowing Tony, who knows if she's injured or she's just on ice because we were told Ricky Starks was hurt and he says he's healthy as a horse.
Hmm.
So again, who knows out of that camp? But another one who could be you could easily squeeze in that equation of challenging for that championship.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do there. I see why they have. See the my thing I get confused with the two championships for the woman is the struggle to like is TBS championship supposed to be on the same level as the AEW Women's World Championship, or is that the second?
Essentially, yes, because as Willow attempted to speak on in the contract signing, uh, Ted Turner's TBS Superstation has had professional wrestling on that network for years, over 50 years. So that women's championship was supposed to commemorate that history that hasn't been touched upon until now. So in theory, it's supposed to be on the same par as the AEW World Title, the AEW Women's World Title, that of the sorts.
Which that makes it harder to book who would want to go for what title when there's no brand.
Exactly. That's why that's what you can either have Dynamite, Collision, or Rampage, Ring of Honor, or AEW, Ring of Honor.
And I'm sorry, people hate WWE for
and
splitting
and
brands, but
and,
it's
and TBS could be converted to almost like the women's secondary belt if they're both on the same network, something like that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the perfect layup. Like branding and wrestling is the perfect when you have so many superstars, if your roster's thin, I wouldn't suggest it. But if you have so many superstars, why not have, in theory, one brand competing for ratings with the other? And then look
And in
at
this case,
IRL, WWE is doing well with that.
but in this case, Tony Khan has 2 promotions on his payroll. It doesn't
But
get much easier than that.
no, but look at how IRL WWE turned that storyline into something when you have cable stations, streaming services bidding for. I want Monday Night Raw. I want SmackDown. That's 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 crazy.
And I'm saying that, but again, it could be better because now you have Ring of Honor and AEW, 2 promotions, one
Bidding
promotion
for,
that has a 20-year history already.
but no, because how he's doing business, it feels like Warner Brothers owns everything he's doing. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like he has the freedom to move outside of.
But here's the thing. Tony owns both of them. He can do whatever the fuck he wants and show Warner, hey, look at what I've built for your TV networks.
That should
Tony,
be it.
again, so let's get the top of, let's segue to that real quick. Again, as of October, until something changes, until then, AEW will cease to be on TV at that point. So far, we've seen little to nothing as far as efforts to why Warner Brothers Discovery, why anybody else should want to give them any lick of money to be on their TV network. Again, whether you're going to launch your own streaming deal or whatever, or if that's a separate negotiation, this is a very serious thing for AEW because if you lose your TV, you lose your viewership because, again, how else are people going to find you? Ring of Honor went through this for a little bit. TNA went through this for a little bit, and they've had to scratch and claw.
When TNA moved, I remember when they used to be on the Spike TV. This is when a few years removed when WWE used to be on, what was it, TNN, or it used to be something like that, but it eventually switched over to Spike TV.
Yeah.
Then TNA had moved over to Access. I didn't have Access over here, so it was hard.
And then they got booted from Access to went to even a smaller network for a minute.
And I really couldn't find them. Like it I would have to go on YouTube and really like type them up to just get whatever little bit of highlights I could get.
So again, I would hate to see AEW in that type of situation because of the talented roster that they had. It was bad enough when Ring of Honor had to do it. It was bad enough when TNA had to do it. Tony has the resources to make this happen, but he's not doing himself any favors.
Tony need to get it together. Tony, what are you doing?
He's got all the resources in the world to make this right. Well, he has them right now currently. We'll see how these contracts pan out soon.
I'm not going to lie, though. The way he was looking tonight, though, I mean, I don't know how like, that money's got to be, like, you know.
Well, maybe in story, Jungle Boy had to piece him up a couple times or something. Maybe. We don't know. But before we get to that, let's get to our matchup for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship between Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland.
I feel split about this.
How so?
Feel like too much interference. Okay. Definitely fire for Swerve to retain, because I thought in my mind there was some way Christian Cage was gonna sleaze out of there with the title. Like, I'm just like, the disrespect is gonna continue somehow.
We did touch on that because we both saw a realistic outcome where that could have been a thing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad to see Prince not riding.
But again, like had they gone to putting the belt on Christian, that would have probably turned into legitimate anarchy for that company. Because again, you give us the first African American world champion, you drop him out in his first defense. That would have been a bad look on them.
I found it very weird that Christian got that look, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because of the work he just did with the TNT Championship. He held on
So
to that
they
for a
did.
pretty while.
I don't know if you saw the stuff leading up to it. They kind of touched on that, and basically, as we touched on earlier in the previous shows, he was handpicked by the EVPs. Therefore, he's on their good graces. So, if you're on the Young Bucks side, you get whatever you want, essentially.
Mm. I mean, and it seems like, yeah, whoever's on their side, especially former talent, you know what I'm saying, of WWE that can give them some insight on shit. I'm pretty sure they're gonna
But
favor them.
but but again, with Christian, he's one of those guys, and I told you this via text. Much like AJ Styles, much like Randy Orton in WWE, it's impossible for them to have a bad match. They always have it on point.
Oh no, Christian,
This
Christian
this match is
definitely
no exception. From the smallest attention to detail of that pulling the turtleneck over to the hockey fight to just the small points of Nana getting caught with the belt to kill switch, getting everyone else kicked out and all that
I
stuff.
thought the
Just the
turtleneck
subtle
shit was
things.
fire, and just off that alone, Christian should never wear that shit ever again. Cause it made me think that like that was so alright, like nobody ever did that to him. So now it should really be like now you change that, Christian, because Christian is kind of
Nah.
like he should like always evolve too. Like he's been evolving, so I think he
So
he take that.
since everybody's father, do you propose he goes to the sweater vest now?
Ah,
Like does he go to the
Mr.
Mr. Rogers
Rogers.
cardigan?
Ah, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be mad at that. I've
But
never
again,
seen
I said
nobody wear a sleeveless turtleneck. That's insane.
neither have I, but tell him.
A sleeveless turtleneck is insane.
But like I
How you
said,
felt about the match
that
overall?
again, much like many of the things on the card, it was fun. Went a little bit long, but like I told you earlier, at the time it started, it was 30 minutes before the usual cutoff time of the pay per view. So, like I said, either this will go long, and the next match that'll follow will be just a 1 minute hit it and quit it type deal, or they're actually going to go over the 4 hour mark. I'm glad they let this match have its time to breathe. It went a smidge long, but that's just nitpicking. Other than that, it was what it needed to be. And the crowd loved it at the end.
Mm. I would like to see once MJF is done with whatever he's doing, if they eventually get to it, I would like to see Swerve and MJF
Oh,
get back.
we're definitely getting that. But the question is, how do we? Everyone loves MJF. Everyone loves Swerve. How do we get MJF back to being a heel?
All out, all out. That's all out. Is that the one with the chip, the ladder match that you grab the poker chip,
Yes,
and that
but
determines the
all
championship match?
but also they announced today that or earlier today that there will be a tournament starting this Dynamite, and the winner will have a match at the World Champion at Forbidden Door. My concern is they're gonna have MJF win that match, and we're gonna get right to MJF Swerve.
I could see that because if Cole's still hurt, then there's no reason for them to really like not have MJF in the ring and sell a match and just still have him with like entertained with backstage drama. I mean, maybe he could
So
go on for the Undisputed Kingdom, like just continue feuding with the rest of them. But I don't want to
so
see MJF versus Wardlow.
I'm gonna run some names by you right now. We're likely gonna get MJF Wardlow very soon, but at the same time, it's like as far as Swerve's next opponent, if your options are Wardlow, MJF, Joe, and Hangman,
See, this is
which
my
one?
problem. This is like the woman. This is like the women's division again. We got the same crop of names circling, and this is a 180 person
Well,
roster.
again,
This is crazy.
You could have had Ricky Starks. You could have had Sammy Guevara. You could have had Okada. You could have had Ospreay.
I mean, hell, I think you got Big Bill on the roster looking phenomenal. Why not just let him go? Let's say, obviously, you got to let him build that, right? But just people of that caliber, start putting them in the position to eat with, like, you're building the believability that they can contend for these championships, so that when you finally insert them, it's not like, oh wow, you just put fucking Ricky Starks in a world heavyweight match, or you just put Hook versus Samoa Joe because he beat 1,000 other jobbers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Off a ranking system. Like, make this shit believable for us. That's what they was fucking up with that
But will
ranking
we
system.
get it? No.
Nah, you beat 1,000 people on elevation, so you just get a world heavyweight championship match. Because you beat fucking 50 people that's not even signed to the roster. Another nerd booker.
Another record.
Let's show that comment right there. Another nerd booker. Like, yeah, man. I mean, I don't understand.
But again, as far as bookers, you have Jim Ross, who was home wrestling over the flu, but you also have Jeff Jarrett. You have Taz. You have Mark Henry for the time he's there still. You have other guys who could help unfuck this to make Tony's job a hell of a lot easier. Does he do it? No.
I think it was interesting how you sent me that article. He had to look into the books. Do you think he didn't realize that Mark? Oh, that was just his political answer, as to say, I'm not renewing, and we're gonna, we're gonna look into things.
Again, one can make the argument for much like many is for what the product has become has drifted so far past beyond what they were initially sold. Everyone's told them of the mistakes of old WCW. Everyone's told them the mistakes that TNA made back in the day. And before our very eyes, we see them making those very same mistakes.
Now I don't know what it could be, and I'm gonna be honest, because I feel like if you take anything else that started up, I don't know if you watched the Big Three basketball. Ice Cube, I felt like he did his best to give the fans, like, if I could compare what AEW is supposed to be and what Big Three was, Big Three was bringing out Allen Iverson. They were trying to get Kobe before he passed. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to really do things, and NBA actually started to, like, slow down the Big Three in terms of their TV, like, networks, and you know what I'm
Well,
saying,
Ice
stepping
Cube
on.
says he Adam Silver feels threatened by what they're doing.
And I feel like it's because, like, again, you can't compare that basketball and wrestling, but what I can compare is that Ice Cube was a fan of basketball, just like Tony Khan's a fan of wrestling. And Ice Cube, he got people that runs the league along with himself. It's not just him right there, and they doing what's best for that. They were doing what's best for their business before they got slowed down. I feel like AEW just running rampant, spending money that can actually be used in other departments for the future. That,
There's no I in team at the end of the day.
man,
It doesn't have to be just Tony Khan leading the charge.
like, I'm gonna be honest. Every time I think of Tony Khan and I think of booking, I think of that one photo that was circulating online with him in the notepad and the whole match card right there. That's I promise you. I promise you. That's all I think about all the time. And I find it's dope as a fan. Like, damn, I wish I could do that. But realistically, I would have a combination of myself. If, like, let's say if you my homie Razor, you up there with me, I'm like, Razor, I need you to be a producer. And then we got professionals along with us. Like you said, these people that are on the roster, why they not?
You have guys that between 4 to 5 guys alone is almost 200 years of knowledge. I would be joint at their hip, picking their brain 24/7 if I could.
And it can't be
Just
the
soaking
on-screen.
every ounce of knowledge.
it can't be the on-screen talent because I feel like as shown they're gonna book in favor of themselves, and when they don't book in favor of themselves, the crowd like when Cody Rhodes did it, he didn't want to become, oh, I'm gonna make myself champion XYZ. The crowd hated it. No, we want to see you go wild. We want to see you heel champion, all of the above. So when you're on-screen talent and you running the booking, you're kind of like you got a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but in Cody's point was he was ready for that, to try that change.
Yup.
The crowd wasn't ready for that just yet.
Fickle.
But again, you have cat. Like I said, Jim Ross is again, with all due respect, been around forever. He's learned from everybody. He's been a scout for Vince for 20, 30 years. You have guys like Mark Henry who could spot out some cats. Once Daniel Bryan retires from full-time work, have him be a scout or something. You have Jeff Jarrett, who's booking a show is in his blood for 3 generations, over 100 years with his family alone. You have all these resources. There is no reason why you're still struggling to break even.
Again,
there should be no reason why you're struggling to fill a 5,000 to 10,000 seat venue. You should be averaging 10,000 seats just based off the guys on your roster from half the roster.
You know what's my last image of Jeff Jarrett? Satnam Singh versus Bryan Danielson. Jeff Jarrett, I felt like he was trying to put himself over, man. On the rope, living the days. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, again, the old trick of the trade, get in where you fit in. The camera will find you.
I mean, he got to earn his keep, right? If Tony's not going to use his knowledge, he got to use his talent on screen somehow, right? Get over.
I was on that video clip. I get the royalties for that clip.
Man, it's crazy what's going on. The World Championship match technically, it wasn't the main event. It was part of a triple main event.
As Justin Roberts put it, shit's hitting the fan.
So now that I want to play devil's advocate now. Now that I say that, if Anarchy in the Arena wasn't the final match, because I know you have your opinions that you're gonna get to about that one, how would you have felt with the night ending with the last 2 matches, or the last 3, which would have been the TNT, TBS, and AEW World Championship match?
Again, it would have been fine. It would have been what it needed to be. You had the big returns in the beginning. It was a nice way to celebrate 5 years of AEW, because that's what the show should have been. It should have been a celebration of your 5-year young history. Did we see that? Did I see that? No. Tony Khan touched on it at the media call and at Dynamite that this was the 5-year anniversary, but did it feel like it? No. They touched on it one time during the next match we're about to cover of a certain point when Jon Moxley first debuted at this very same pay-per-view, when Moxley gave Omega the paradigm shift over the poker chips. Other than that, there was no mention of this being the 5-year anniversary.
So with that, on to the shit show, as Justin Roberts had mentioned.
A bucket or a swamp of hot ass is what it was.
Anarchy in the Arena.
No pun intended. God damn.
The Elite versus Team AEW. That shit was just cringy to begin with. Team AEW. I don't know who started that, but I never liked that team. And then said name.
It was never really that. Before, it was faction versus faction. So yeah, in the past it was like Jericho Society versus the Elite, Jericho Society versus Inner Circle or whatever MJF's faction was.
The Pinnacle.
Yeah, it was a faction warfare match essentially. This is the first time where it was the EVPs versus Team AEW, and we've said this plenty of time. We could have picked a better pairing of 4 guys than the 4 guys we got representing Team AEW.
Yeah, I think you hit it dead on the head where this match was bound to take place, but the participants was subject, you know what I'm saying? Subject to change. Feel like they rushed back Darby, which I'm not gonna lie, it just doesn't make sense why they do this to the man. Oh, he does it to himself, whatever. But
He's got to learn to say no to some of this bullshit eventually.
I mean, if it stands true what he said, um, when he heard that Eddie Kingston got injured and he pulled over on the road and called Tony Khan, I need in and I need to be cleared the same day of Dynamite. That sounds crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Just to be held upside
You're
down.
getting paid whether you're there or not. Take your ass on vacation. You're supposed to be climbing Mount Everest in 10 months. Like, what the fuck are you even doing?
How do you feel about AEW? You okay with these kind of matches? Like, I feel like I see these type of, or like I see too much red from AEW anyway. Like somebody's always bleeding. So when I see some of these type of matches, like we just seen the barbed wire match earlier, barbed wire cage match, right? So sometimes when you have a hot spot match like this, Anarchy in the Arena, a whole bunch of crazy shit going on, does it just feel too gimmicky?
So, again, I didn't really have a problem with it up until this point. So, again, the part where they were saying, oh, stop the music, play this song instead, whatever. Maybe about 2 minutes after Final Countdown was playing, that's part where the match should have ended. The other half an hour we got after that, we
Where
didn't
there
even
was
need.
no music, where they was chanting, "We want music."
Yeah,
And
all the other bullshit we didn't even need at that point.
it was kind of funny too because I fucking was literally in the Discord with Voodoo and I said, "Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, like they need to change this music, bro. Like they really gonna keep 5 years straight playing this same shit."
Yeah, because before it was Moxley's theme of Wild Thing, and then it
I,
was the Elite's theme. Then they did it for Fozzy at one point. So again, I get it. It's cool to show while you play. Whoever's gonna win their song, send them home in 5 minutes. We're good. This, nah,
they turned it into the remix.
not even that.
I'm not
This
gonna
is
lie though, the part where who was it, Matt or Nick? One of them said into the camera, "We're gonna have to pay 200,000 for this. Turn it off." That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, man.
yeah, but again, like so, I said just before that or whatever, or even if the match ends like what comes after that, that should have been the go home. The extra bullshit of Jungle Boy running the bus into some cardboard boxes, to Darby setting Perry on fire, to hanging Darby by the ankles with the rope, with a cable, whatever. That shit wasn't needed. There's no point in it.
Man.
Because if you
Again,
notice, the crowd was only reacting to that. Other than that, they're just like, this thing over so we can go home.
it be feel like one of those things that's like in the mind when you think about it. Oh yeah, so okay, Darby's gonna be upside down. We're gonna super kick him with the thumbtacks on the sneakers, and but then there's just like that moment where he's still hanging for like the rest of until they bring him down. It's just like
Yeah,
what
like
the fuck. It's a bit
I
hard to
mean,
watch.
I could see if they give him the EVP trigger, you pin him, and then you hang him as like, this is your
Show
hero.
goes off. That's it.
Yeah, that's
Bring him
one
back
thing.
down after the cameras go off. Like,
Yeah.
nah, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of like when they hung Austin up on the Undertaker cross, right? It was
When
like
they fight him, or when they hung
Yeah,
Boss Man when they actually hung him.
yeah, that was crazy. I could do some crazy. That was insane. That I'm not gonna lie. Like AEW was borderline riding those territories tonight.
Yeah,
They,
but if as folks remember, those moments are remembered for the wrong reasons, and
yeah,
Tony Khan is risking falling into those categories.
he really is though. That spot with Edge tonight was it was kind of it was symbolic.
Uh, or even earlier in the match with that in the Osprey Roddy match where Osprey landed on his head outside.
Mm.
So again, I get it. They're living on the edge, but it wouldn't hurt to have some self awareness of your own health at times. It's okay to say no once in a while.
Yes, it's tough. So we ended the night with the Elite taking the victory over Team AEW.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. This kind of unfortunately spells bad news for AEW as a brand going forward for several reasons. Two, we're now going to go into bad NWO territory, unfortunately. We're going to slip into the bad Aces and Eights bullshit. We're going to slip into potentially WWE NWO
A,
bad
ta-
bullshit.
a takeover, basically. Could you see them rebranding the whole AEW name?
We've already done it with the song, and if you think about it, they'll say our name was in it from Jump Street.
Elite.
We are the elite. This is all elite wrestling. And again, this shit didn't work 20, 30 years ago to begin with. And again, it's probably not going to work now.
Yeah, the Elite. Moolah. Yup, the Elite. Man.
Yeah.
And you know, it wouldn't be the first time that a wrestling company rebrands itself, whether they had to forcefully or whether they chose to on own volition. That's why I mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? The only company I think that might have stood the test of time might have been WCW. But even weren't they even WCCW at one point, or were they just WCW?
The only one that's been true was Ring of Honor.
Yeah, there you go.
That and maybe the NWA. Those were it. But again, this is going to. There's definitely a lot of buzz on this Wednesday's Dynamite. If I'm Tony, I don't announce a single bit of the card at all. I don't announce anything. Just leave the what if factor.
Oh yeah, Moolah. It's always about selling arenas and it's about the money. That's why most of these matches, that's why AEW specifically, we always on their case because they're just concerned about putting on dream matches, which they think is gonna do something. And
Some of those
bro,
matches ain't gonna bring in the box office.
yeah, bro. Especially with like to put things in perspective for everybody out there. This is me and my eyes. Wrestling is kind of like Broadway. Like you got your moments where it's like combat sports when you got your wrestlers that go crazy in the ring, like they were bugging out, losing their mind, doing all kind of amazing moves. But then you got the cinematic part. Remember, you was talking about this the other day. You said cinema. You said WWE cinema. That's where the
Or
money's
or
at.
or or, or even let's go one step further. Let's compare it to sport. Could you see someone on the lines of Habib Nurmagomedov take on a gentleman who had one match in the UFC and Chris Motina, who they haven't seen in years? But it'll
No,
be a first time ever. It'll be a dream match. Will that sell tickets? No. But in Tony's case, the fact that it's the first time ever, that should be publicity alone. That should be sufficient to want people to want to buy a ticket.
yeah, yeah, it's like an indie. It's the old fashioned indie darling, the independent darling versus a seasoned vet dream match, but it's not going to translate well on the set on the buys. again, it's a small market when it comes to viewership for that type of style. You know what I mean? And this is why WWE is so successful because they tell stories, they build characters, they
They're
build
always trying to
relations.
grow the audience. What
Yeah.
in the last 5 years? What has AEW done to want to bring people in? What have they done to where people go, okay, I need to see them?
You know what I heard Rey Mysterio say on did you hear Rey Mysterio on the Jackson podcast recently?
Mm.
It's a chain company named Jackson, and they had Rey Mysterio on. The co-host was actually Rampage Jackson. So Rey Mysterio said that most of the storylines going on in WWE is family based storylines. And like whether it's to some direct degree or not, it kind of makes sense. Like, okay, everything feel family orientated in WWE. You know what I'm saying? Where you got the business with Rey Mysterio and his dad, you got the whole bloodline storyline going on. Judgment Day for a group, they make it feel like for
They're close. They're close like a family.
yeah, you got dudes speaking. You got Finn speaking Spanish with Damian Priest. Like that's kind of like if you're a Spanish person
And
and
the
like you
reason
feel that
and the reason
like
always starts to feel like family because over the last few years we've all grown with these stories.
yup. Mula said, look at Logan Paul and LA Knight. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like Logan Paul could be great in AEW, but under WWE's factory, bro, what they did for Logan
It's been
Paul,
magic.
insane, bro. They know how to build characters, yes, bro. LA Knight. Like I'm not gonna lie, LA Knight, like on the he been himself on his work, but I'm gonna admit though, under WWE lights, that is in the arenas, it looks way more polished than in high school gyms, small studios, all of that shit. It just looks more polished when you're in WWE light, like under the lights of the WWE.
Characters like that are meant for the limelight because he's an attraction.
Yeah. And he knows how to work the microphone. He been knowing how to do that too. Like I personally been watching LA Knight since TNA. I haven't seen before that, but what I seen in TNA, I never seen a bad promo from him since dating back to
Uh,
then. Like I don't
that's Eli Drake to you.
right.
And he had the same gimmick when he was doing NW at the same time. It's just
Oh yeah, that's why I said the small studio stuff because the NWA they had the little small like television set studio, which is kind of dope. I like that.
yeah.
But
So that's actually by design because they want to pay homage to the history of the promotion. So I thought
yeah.
that was kind of nice by Billy to kind of keep that.
No, and it's dope, right? But again, for longevity, it's like what do we always say? You don't just be happy glorifying playing for the G League. At some point, you want to be in the NBA. At some point, you want to be at the highest stage in the Super Bowl, in the World Series. You know what I'm saying? Stanley Cup, whatever's the creme de la crop of your profession. And some people don't care about it. But as a fan, I think you know, I think the I think it's owed to some of us to see you in that spotlight and dancing with the best. You know, I don't see a lot of superstars that regret going to WWE. And the only thing that they really regretted was that whole Vince stuff.
Because
We
Vince
we
didn't give him a chance.
yeah, and we kind of passed that. So man, because they've been around. That's what oh yeah, they have
And,
better marketing. Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. Some didn't want to wait for Triple H to take over. I get it. Do you? Look
But
at
yeah,
Swerve. Look at Tony Storm.
they probably didn't
Look
believe
at.
that moment would ever come, right? Like,
Mm-hmm. They
and
probably thought, oh, Vince would be dead before then.
to be fair, if all of these news and allegations didn't surface, that may be true.
Mm-hmm.
Something drastic had to have happened. I'm not gonna ignore that because Vince weaseled his way in from. I forgot what got him out the door the first time, but
Which
he
time?
got the around that pin when Triple H first got creative power, and then Vince weaseled his way back in just enough to sell the company to TKO?
Oh, supposedly what that was, he got bored on his vacation, so he said, "Oh, it's still mine, guys."
Crazy.
But
He
on the
did the
topic of
swindle.
WWE, should we get into the King and Queen of the Ring tournament?
Oh yeah, we could do that. Just give me 1 second so I could write down this timestamp so I could break down this video.
No
And then
worries.
and then we're gonna switch the gimmick. We're gonna switch the gimmick. We're gonna switch the gimmick, yeah. We're gonna keep it going.
We got a lot to cover, folks.
All right, so we at the 150 mark right here, chat. So I'm gonna get ready to start pivoting over to switching my graphics over here. And let me just queue one up because we had, we working, baby. So just waiting for this to pop up over here. Boom, chat. King and Queen of the Ring. It's been an amazing weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't
Big
know
E.
between
Mhm.
Backlash, between Clash coming up. I mean, New Japan show start fairly later to begin with. I gotta remind myself to take a little cat nap either before New Japan starts or right when New Japan ends to get ready for this one because this is a long weekend for me.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I learned my lesson. Carlito JBL, yes sir. My boy out there, Moolah. You remember, bro? That's what I'm saying. Too many characters, bro. And WWE been doing that since the beginning of time, bro. Where they, you know what I'm saying? Vince's father, bro. Vince, you know what I'm saying? Vince McMahon Senior. He had a whole like, bro. Like this is just too much science. This is why, like, unfortunate for what Vince has done, bro. But what he done for the business itself, arguably him, his father, his daughter, his son-in-law, crazy, phenomenal. Going back to what you said, Razor, I learned from my last time watching New Japan with you, and then staying up. But I'm not gonna lie, that day,
It's some work. It takes a little bit out of you.
you know what it was too, though. I had to do something that day too. Remember, I told you I went to a kids' cookout, so just have it. I gotta make sure if I do it, that the pay-per-view is the only
Yeah,
thing I'm doing that day, and after that, I
and
could
again,
just.
and I'll let you know when the bigger show. That's why I've been on you too much about Best of Super Juniors because again, that's a long month.
Nah, but even the smaller shows, I'm not gonna lie. Like I want to really dig my, cause look, I like to be ahead of the game. I don't like to just be one. Like if somebody debuts on SmackDown, oh, who's that guy? Nah, I already know. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate anything, even whether is the smaller shows to the bigger shows. So you know what I'm saying? You can put me on. I just know that I knew that there was gonna be a show on that Friday going into Saturday, but I already knew. I was like, nah, I'm tapped, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I am tapped, bro. Especially because I think I was feeling good. I don't know what day. Wednesday I had a drink or something, and the next day I was feeling lazy. So it had me in like this, like, oh man, you know what I'm
and,
saying?
and and also the crazy part with some of New Japan shows is unless you're like checking the New Japan World app on your TV or on your phone every day since they changed the app up, if you're just checking it just based on whatever the calendar schedule is, you may not know that not all days are going to be streamed. So you may
Mm,
wake up one day when you think it's going to start or come to find out that's not even on VOD, so you're up for nothing at that point
wow, it's just like
and fucks up your whole day.
hell yeah. So let's get into it, man. What was the I gotta look up the match order for this one too. I kind of there's so much wrestling that happened over the weekend that like man, I remember the matches, I just don't remember the orders of them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we don't gotta go in order if you think about it.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Now that you say that, now I think I don't remember if there was anything on the kickoff, but matter of fact, there was. It was the women's tag team champions,
hmm
Jade and Bianca. Their outfits was fire. I think I sent you a
Bright
text
as
message.
fuck too.
Yeah, it reminded me of some pink Power Rangers out there. Um, I know we was talking about Shayna Baszler and Starks was
Zoe Starks.
supposed to get the tag team look at them. But something happened on the SmackDown that Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae ends up getting the championship match at the pre-show.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
there was
that was a
no
little
doubt in my
funny.
mind. Yeah, it was definitely funny. I felt like that was like I feel like they're teasing something like a loss or something, or But what do you feel about no KOD? What do you know Jade's finisher? I'm not, I forgot her
It's
name.
called Jaded.
Jaded. There we go. No Jaded. No
I,
KOD.
I mean, I'm here for it only for this reason. If these two are going to be a legit tagging for a while, a good while, then I'm all for it. If you're gonna split them up by SummerSlam or Survivor Series, then this is all for nothing.
Hmm. I wouldn't be mad if they tag for a while because it'll really give Jade that a good year to get her feet wet in here. Like they put her in big spots right away. She got the Royal Rumble look. Um, she had a WrestleMania match already 1-0 at WrestleMania.
And you can have those matches periodically or whatever sprinkled out, but again, it's you got to decide: do you want this to end now, or do you want to just milk this and invest all the time to see how far you can stretch this tag team out? Because you already gave them their own finish.
I personally, with the direction of Nia Jax winning the Queen of the Ring, I feel like maybe they should let Nia Jax go crazy right now, and they could
So
draw
she would
out.
face what? She'd face Liv Morgan, I think.
Nia's on SmackDown, so she'll face Bailey unless they do
Ooh.
some kind of switcheroo.
I wouldn't be mad at either matchup, to be honest.
Yeah, so I believe Nia Jax to take on Bailey. So I feel like if she, and then that'll be Nia Jax. This will be Nia Jax time to capture that title, go crazy with it. And when she's done running through those competitors, that's when you pull the plug on Jade and Bianca. You might
Again,
also have Charlotte coming back soon too. So it gives
so
you know
again, there's no point in rushing Jade and Bianca splitting up, to be honest.
right, especially with
But
Charlotte going back to SmackDown.
but let's get into that Lara Valkyria and Nia Jax match. I thought it was solid. I
Man,
don't really
I
have
was
much bad to
surprised.
say about it. You thought they're gonna give it to Lyra this soon?
No, what I was surprised about was like for Lyra being a newcomer to the main roster, Nia Jax being around for many years, but they haven't had that moment in the ring. This is their first moment in the ring, and it's at a PLE. So I thought there was gonna be the moments that I mean, obviously there'd be moments that should look more cleaner. I expected more shit to go left than right, but I enjoyed the performance from both ways. I felt like they really told that big wrestler, small wrestler story well. A giant and a technician, you know what I'm saying? Lyra, she's a good striker
She
as
Lyra
well.
got her shit in.
Yeah,
She
she's
definitely got her shit in.
yeah. So I was definitely to see a nice match from them right there. Also, I was surprised to see Lyra take that bonsai drop in the corner.
Bro, that was nasty.
Yeah.
Like
See, I thought it was gonna be over for Nia because they did this kind of same set up on the opposite corner where she kicked Naya's leg out from underneath her.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was gonna go back to do that. Once she put her in a power bomb position, I said, "There's no way, bro.
And then
There's no
the
way."
camera man couldn't have caught a more better angle of that impact too. Just watching her just torque all the way back before falling
Flattened
down.
her. Yeah, it was like flat. It was really like
Kudos to
flat.
that camera crew, because that
Great
camera crew again. Maybe it's just for the
production, man.
Europe
I'm telling
the
you,
overseas shows. Maybe they upgrade the productions, but these camera crews have upped their game and upped the quality of shit, because there was a lot of good shots in the show, much like in France not too long ago.
no. So what I read a few months ago was like WWE doing different things, right? So remember all the augmented reality shit that used to come on the screen, like Cody's
Yeah,
logo that comes up. So they
like
was doing
that.
that too much often.
Mhm.
Yeah, doing it too much for too many superstars, right? And it actually cost them money. Like it looks like whatever on the screen, but I guess. And now they just choosing to put that into other things like the camera work and the production.
Let me tell you which part. Let me tell you which part of that I personally enjoy the most, more than anything else. During the title matches where they put that little small thing of challenger and champion before their names, that little subtle thing right there,
I'm
I
not
thought it
gonna
was
lie,
just
bro.
perfect.
Something
It's,
about that, bro. It's something about that does something to me.
yeah,
Like I don't know what
it's
it
not
is,
too crazy. It's like it's like just enough. It's perfect.
but I look at my wifey and I tell her, "Yo, that's so fire," and she be like, like I don't know. For me,
It's
I've
the simple
watched.
things,
Yeah, I've been
the
watching
subtle
wrestling since
differences.
a box set, since like Manhattan Center, like you know what I'm saying. Since it looked really like grainy and everything just so fucking clean. It was just like wow, like I'm watching a real life movie right now, live movie. That's what it felt like.
Or even like whatever title match. It's a bona fide title match. It's a main
Big
event. It's a
moment.
headline match. It's a
Yeah,
marquee match.
all you missing is Michael Buffer in his prime announcing the match.
Hey, Samantha Irvin ain't far off. I'm gonna be honest.
Man,
Oh,
amazing.
girl got some lungs.
They didn't have her in Saudi though this time around, no?
I think it was was it who was it?
Might have been. Is Mike Rome still around? I think I heard
No, they
of.
just let him go. Microm is gone. I think. It wasn't that chick that just brought from NXT, was it?
Nah,
You sure was it Samantha?
cause I feel like I think my girl told me something about they don't have her on the show tonight, and then I like, but I could be wrong, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
interesting.
again, that's something you got to take on every show.
Yeah.
Because that's your Jimmy Lennon Jr. That's your Bruce Michael Buffer.
Mhm.
That's
Definitely.
your Tony Chimmel. Your Howard Finkel.
Yeah, those moments right there when they do that camera work, that panning. Again, it's something to me that I feel AEW lacks. Like uh, WWE's not afraid to take that leap, make the show brighter. I feel like a lot of traditional wrestling shows, a lot of independent promotions, a lot of people that's just starting on TV, they're afraid to look like WWE. Unless
But
WWE sends
also
some cease and
is
desist, I don't understand what's going on.
you could also make the argument that aside from a Jericho per se, who there knows how to make those moves for the camera
Right?
crew?
Yeah,
There's no one there that's showing them the way. You have
yeah. That's a
Jericho
big
showing what they
production
were doing in the
company.
'90s,
Yeah, that's a big
and it's and
production.
like and it's something as small as all right. You got to move this way. Suppose if you move this way versus this way, you can get a better shot. This way gives you better lighting. This way does this and this.
Again why I don't know what AEW has. I know they have little departments of people that run certain things, certain coordinators, but WWE has a multi-million dollar team, branding, marketing. They do that shit.
This is a $1 billion team now.
Man, yeah, TKO. Knocking shit out.
As speaking of which, before we get to the rest of the Queen and King of the Ring, the next NXT event at the UFC Apex.
Mm,
That's gonna be a different look
Vegas.
for them altogether. But you are essentially
And
now
when is
at
Battleground? Is that
that's in a few weeks, I think. But either
mm,
like that's that you are now in the UFC's Performance Center now. You were in their NXT essentially.
mm.
So again, folks may not realize what this is. This could be the start of something big.
It definitely can be. Other news that happened in that night, Liv Morgan defeated Becky Lynch.
That was a
Some
solid match too. That was
some
a
may
solid
say,
match.
to the help of Dominic Mysterio. What say
That was
you?
rather interesting. Rather interesting indeed. Now, I want to just say the joke that's been circling the internet since then. We're going to get a Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley with a Dominic Mysterio custody battle ladder match type shit.
Man,
Again, and all I can say is it's unfortunate that the women's title is writing back bitch to what the actual story is. Because since that's the story, Liv didn't need the title for that. You could have just kept it on Becky Lynch if this story was the case. On the flip side, supposedly Becky's contract is up in a matter of days.
mm.
So again, a lot could happen between now and the next, say mid June, maybe even the end of June when Forbidden Door happens.
And then
I'm
my
not
my
saying
thing is
I'm not
my
saying
take
Becky could
also.
jump ship, but again, who knows these days?
I mean, there's always people that feel like they want to make a difference. They tired of, but you know, what I mean, she been at the top of the. That's another thing too. When you at the top of winning for so long, you just want to make a difference. And AEW's at that position where they need a difference. You know what I'm saying? They need a difference maker, especially in their women's
But
division.
here's the thing though: do they need a difference maker, or do they need to actually invest in what the hell they got because they got a damn impressive roster already?
They need to invest in what they got because the fact of
Thank
the
you.
matter is, it's one thing rooting for Becky Lynch. It's another thing rooting for Rebecca Quinn.
And not even that. Again, say you bring in a Rebecca Quinn, who's the next person to hit the back burners? That could be an Anna Jay. That could be a Britt Baker. Could be an Athena.
Thunder Rose spinning the block again.
Could be a Serena Deeb.
Hmm.
Could be a Mariah May. So
Mm.
again, you could bring whoever the fuck you want, but again, adding to the pile of names only makes things worse. Now, granted, in WWE, she's at a point to where her star power alone, she can do whatever the hell she wants. She don't need the belt. Once that crowd hits or whatever, and that music starts playing, she's a star. Now, I can see a world where she just slips up into Hollywood for a minute and gets some money over there, but I don't see her jumping ship.
I mean, and then she do need to take time off to be a mom. She hasn't really.
She got a wounded husband to take care of.
Right, the household needs some tending to. You know what I'm saying?
Again, vacations with that family are long overdue, if we're being honest.
Nah, for sure, for
Ain't
sure.
nothing wrong with that.
Because didn't she just came? She when she gave birth, right? She came probably like a few months fresh off that rock bottom.
Yeah, she was back a few months after that, I think. Not long after, because that was SummerSlam in Dallas, wasn't it?
Against
Or
Bianca.
Vegas. It was Vegas.
Bianca, right?
Mm-hmm. So again, whatever she decides to do, we're here for it. Again, if she wants to take a break, we know she's more than earned it. It's just do you.
Nah, yeah, that's for sure. Um, yeah, again, though, I just want to just say one last thing. They making Dom look like the most idiotic person ever. He fumbled the bag big time, man.
But here's the thing: it's working for him.
It is.
It's working for him. That's the
Mhm.
funny part about this. Like again, has he pissed off mommy? Absolutely. Does he got a new bad one on the side that admitted to the internet that she's single? Again, he's in a no lose situation right now. I mean, he's gonna get his ass up regardless, but it's like I'm very intrigued to see how this goes because we're gonna get the second ever Dominic Mysterio custody match.
Mm. The next match of the night: Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed, Chad Gable. I thought this
It
match
was
was
fun.
fire.
It was fun.
I don't know why. I thought it'd be really fun to see Bronson Reed and Otis in a tag team.
Um,
Be like, just let them go
no,
crazy.
no, only because two vastly different personalities. I don't think that they would gel well together. It would probably work
They
professionally, but
big as fuck. Yeah. That's the only reason why I'll put them together. Like I could just see them doing some
hi
like,
Vince.
yeah, like you know what, like, alright, like,
Look at all the beef.
yep, yeah, like you know what I'm saying. They already be going crazy with that shit. That moment when they had the Chad Gable do the German suplex to Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn was crazy. Chad
And again,
Gable,
we're only scratching the surface with what the internet has now dubbed Perk Gable.
Perk Gable. I'm convinced now though he's not gonna get his look.
Again, ain't no rush with it.
Like
We're still in first gear with this right now. We're just now cruising to second gear.
that is true. Cause when he lost, this is all about him being mad that he couldn't capture and this and that. But man, you just feel like so many times Chad Gable's at that spot where it feel like he gaining momentum just for him to just be out there losing.
But the next test will be this. It's gonna be him versus Otis. He's gonna prove that Otis and Maxine were holding him back. Now we're gonna get to see if he really can be one of them dudes or not.
Mm.
The ball is in his court. He's got all the tools at his leisure. Can he put the puzzle together?
I think
I
he
got all the
can.
faith in the world for him, but now is where we get to see. All right, is he a dude or not?
I think honestly, I think he checked all the boxes minus he hasn't had that believability of being over yet.
He hasn't had this since American Alpha.
And that's what I'm saying. Kurt Angle had the greatest tag team. He's had American Alpha and he's had Alpha Academy. You know what I'm saying?
But again,
He got
Alpha
the ankle
Academy
lock.
that is what it was. But again, as far as Chad Gable being on this level of we want him to do something great, hasn't been since Alpha Academy with Jason Jordan. When he had those classic matches with DIY, when he had those classic matches with the Revival, but prior to Jason Jordan's weird freak accident injury, that was the last time Chad Gable was a dude. Now he's crawled his way back to that spotlight or very close to it. Now we get to see what he can really do.
Mm. I mean, I think he showed he can hang with the likes of Gunther's and you know what I'm saying. It's just what next though. Like the United States Championship is held up over there, so it's kind of like
I guess I can see him dethroning Sammy in the future 1-on-1, but again, he's got to get past Otis first. And the transition from Otis back to Sammy will be the test as to what we see in Chad Gable. Is this the real thing? Or is this just us blowing smoke and mirrors our own damn selves?
I think
Because we all believe he can do it. It's just this is the test now.
Mm-hmm. I think if they have any want or need to go the same direction of a Kurt Angle, then they'll let him gain that steam. If they don't care about any of that, then
Well, here's the thing with that. The crowd has wanted him to have that type of persona for so long.
right.
Like before Vince and Hunter saw it, the crowd dubbed him the next Kurt Angle. So
Correct.
the crowd's already behind him. It's just, again,
But they
does
made
Triple
Jason
H,
Jordan Kurt Angle's son.
but again, the crowd's still saying that's always been our guy right there from day one. That's been him. That's been our guy. Now it's a matter of WWE is going to allot him the tools. All right, show us what the crowd sees in you. They believe in you. Show us what you can really do. So hopefully we'll get that with Otis, and hopefully we'll get that maybe SummerSlam or between then and Survivor Series when Chad Gable dethroned Sami Zayn. Yes, I said when he dethroned Sami Zayn.
Oh wait, y'all heard it there first. He calling it. The next match would have been Nia Jax winning the Queen of the Ring. We
covered that earlier. And again, that match was beautifully executed or whatever. Hats off to Nia Jax. Hats off to Lara Valkyria. Young lady, your time will come. This was a perfect stepping stone.
Definitely well deserved for Nia Jax. I feel like even though the crowd gives her bad heat, I still think she's a phenomenal talent. That rap that she hurts people. People need to get over that shit.
Now, this may be a left field take, but not since the early stages of The Miz had I seen a performer have to deal with so much shit, overcome so much bullshit to crawl their way to the top and show why they should be considered one of the best in the industry.
For real, people don't give her flowers. Like she's undergone massive weight loss just to maintain like I don't want to say the physique, but she wanted to be in better health to move around and do a lot.
I get it if folks want to revert back to her family lineage. That's all fine and dandy, but much like The Miz, they're putting in the hours. They're putting in the work in the lab. They're showing themselves how bad they want it, and we're seeing it in these great matches. And again, you shouldn't look past that.
I definitely feel like too, like we're only seeing a glimpse of what Naya's been doing since she's been back, but I feel like even in this glimpse, this can arguably be some of her best work.
And it's only getting better.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't wait till she runs it back with Charlotte. I can't wait till she runs it back with Rhea. Fuck it. Let's give us Nia Jax versus Jordynne Grace one more time aside from the Rumble. Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Fuck it. Give me Nia Jax versus Misha Slamovich.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm definitely glad to see her in that spot. It's about time that I feel like it's been way too long that she's been on the roster. And she's only held the belt once, if that.
But
or maybe.
but again, now we're actually seeing her in her zone. So all right, now let's see what she can really do.
Correct. Next match.
And I'm all for it. Run
Next match. Gunther, King of the Ring, defeating Randy Orton.
Match of the motherfucking night.
You called Gunther King of the Ring.
And I called Randy too. I said if one person wins out of the final four, you can damn near take that shit to the bank. And also, like I said, this match did not disappoint whatsoever. This was everything we wanted and then some. We got to see Randy throw down a little physically for the first time in a good minute. So we all know his ass is feeling top way as far as being sore right about now. But damn it, that match was fun to watch.
Man, it's been a while since I've seen somebody kick out of a RKO.
Hold on,
It's
you
been a
see the welts on
while,
his chest from them chops?
man. Ground beef.
They're giving each other the kitchen sink, the side garage, the outhouse, you name it.
Three body
As
back
Sheamus would
slams to the
say, that
announce
was a
table.
banger.
Gunther took 2 RKOs in that match. Randy Orton did a hell of a job putting him over. These guys did a hell of a job making this match feel very important.
Randy made Gunther a bona fide star.
I give it to the producers of this match. No outside interference. Clean, just going back, utilize the whole in and outside of the ring if you have to.
All them shots through the announce tables.
Man,
That's a lot of meat to lift up.
man.
Because they're both, what, 260, 270 apiece?
It was just a tough fire match. You know, you're always gonna get hard headed with Gunther. Randy Orton's very
But
methodical.
for Randy to throw down, because it's been a minute since he's gotten that physical. A long minute, and that was the different to see out of him, that he can still throw down. He still got them hands.
I felt like he really schooled Gunther. Like even though he lost, the very beginning of the match when Randy was coming out, he did veteran-esque Undertaker, only Undertaker, Randy Orton, The Rock, Roman Reigns. Select few can walk to the ring and kill the time the way that he
I don't
did.
even think it was that. I think Randy was more taking it back that, much like with France, you had the whole crowd singing that song. The crowd was
Soak it
with
in,
it. So Leon France, you guys are the standard bearers. You
man.
guys told the crowd, hey, we got a voice too. Cardiff, you're next.
These whatever you want to call it, out of the states PLEs, these international PLEs, these joints is fire. It's definitely fire right there.
And again, they have a rare level of appreciation. And again, some may not be a fan of the excessive crowd banter. Me personally, the fact that this was once taboo within WWE, for it being exemplified now, it's quite refreshing. I never thought I'd hear those crowds like that, like you would hear at a Rev Pro show, or even the old WCPW shows with What Culture back in the day, where those European crowds are just a whole nother vibe. The same vibe you see with soccer games over there, with rugby games over there. They're just a whole nother beast. They
Yeah,
enjoy their
man, they
time
hype.
there, and they let you know that they're enjoying themselves there.
Well, yeah, like I'm gonna be honest. When I go to shows, something about the American crowd, it kind of be crazy. Cause like you go to a show and you making noise, you get loud. Then there's always like them few people in the crowd somewhere that's like, oh, like they
Even the AEW crowds most of the time remind me of certain U.S. indie crowds. Because again, I've gone to the New Japan shows in San Jose, California, a couple of times for Battle in the Valley, and for it being a small place that holds less than 4,000 people there, those crowds are so lively you can feel the vibrations in the ground below you.
Mm.
And when the crowd's actually feeling it or whatever, it doesn't matter how your camera is. You're gonna feel it, you're gonna hear it, and you're gonna
You see,
love it.
like I feel like like New York crowds, we chant for the wrong reasons. Like
New York crowds are wild, Philly crowds are wild, Chicago crowds are Chicago crowds.
say like
the
these other
the
places they
Carolinas when
chant.
Ric Flair's in town back in the day.
Yeah, like these other places they're chanting because they want to be part of the show, but in a good way, right? Like they want to make it feel good. These other places, New York, Chicago, LA, they gonna let you hear it sometimes. Like for better or for
especially
worse.
New York, Chicago, and Philly. They damn sure
Yeah.
gonna let you know if something's ass. They gonna tell you to your face it's ass,
Like I'm gonna
and
be
I
honest,
love them for that.
before Raw even starts, like before main event even starts, they letting us through the doors. Everybody got their food. They said, yeah, they wilding in the arena, going crazy. That's how they just start. I'm like, man, it's about to be it. And then they just start, the Ric Flair, woo. Everybody starts going crazy. And this is before the cameras even get going. It's just like people just want to get heard. They want to be noticed. They want to,
and then when you see it on camera, especially when the show is keeping a certain flow, it's just a beautiful combination to see.
I feel like they turn us down sometimes because I've been to some shows and on my end when I watch it back, I'll be like, damn, that chant don't sound as loud as it did
Well,
in
also you remember, especially with
person.
the old Vince days, it's like they don't want the crowd to be the star of what they're trying to promote, and I get that to a degree, but it's just like, hey, yeah, you don't want the crowd hijacking the show, but if they're exemplifying their appreciation for what they're seeing, it's okay to let them be heard because it makes the place that sound that much louder.
Yeah,
That way,
and
you can argue. You get Michael Cole saying, the sound is deafening in here," or something like
and,
that.
and it makes it real for the talent to play off of it too. Like you want to be able for the talent to like if the crowd is chanting something, not just to stand there, they
Oh no,
deafen it.
that's contagious.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Now they playing off of it. There'll be a time that like let's say even if a talent played off of it, WWE's editing the sound. So you wouldn't even be able to tell. Now they letting that shit fly. You can hear
Uh-huh.
the crowd engagement. Speaking of crowd engagement, last match, Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, Universal Championship. Cody Rhodes another one sinking in the environment, letting it soak in. He was soaking in the environment. He's sitting there, right before the match at the barricade, enjoying the crowd and stuff like that. How'd you feel about this match?
Much like certain matches of the AEW show, had this gone just a couple minutes less, I thought it would have been just fine. I mean, it was what it was. Um, I thought the story behind the brass knuckles was rather entertaining. Again, Logan Paul is just one of those rare entities where, for what little knowledge and training he has, he's come a long way. That frog splash after that drone pan shot that they had was damn impressive.
Mm.
But again, all in all, it was just a fun match. But what I personally found entertaining with that match was towards the end where they're just jaw jacking each other. Right before Cody gives him that triple crossroads, Cody grabs him by the head and says, "I'm Cody Rhodes, bitch."
He let him know
So
something
just
real quick.
so it was more so the camera crew catching the audio of them jaw jacking. That little detail was enough to get me through the match. It's like, all right, they're trying to make this look like it's a fight.
Right.
There's gonna be shit talking. Let it be heard. It's all right.
They had to include I don't know the gentleman's name from Saudi, but they had
I wasn't a big fan of that part. I'm glad you touched on that part. During the match, there was a segment to where Michael Cole's jaw jacking at Logan Paul, called him a loser, whatever, saying he lied about the pre-nuck agreement. Um, Honestly, now this is just me having a tinfoil hat on. I almost would have been certain that that's where we would have saw Corey Graves turn on Cole and just cold cock him.
I thought something was gonna happen there with Corey
because
Graves specifically.
Corey has teased he wants to do a little comeback or whatever. Um, Honestly, if that still is the case, I would not be mad at a future Logan Paul versus Corey Graves matchup.
Mm.
Because for those that may not know, Corey was a dog in Ring of Honor back in the day. He was a dog on the indies. Due to unfortunate injuries in the early NXT days, it is what it is, but he could go. So this may be something I had to keep an eye on. But other than that, I thought the match was fine. It was entertaining. Again, instead of the Saudi entertainer interfered in the match, I kind of would have preferred Graves interfere in the match because they had that little moment prior to that. But it was what it was.
Or even so, it could have even been Michael Cole that did the save, and then Logan
I
strikes
think
Michael Cole.
I think it would have had to been Graves.
Then Graves immediately.
Yeah, because like I said, you planted that seed when Graves was holding Logan Paul back. If it's Michael Cole, it could come off as being too cheesy.
It could, but now Logan Paul just walked away. I feel like he would have had to push Graves now, do something to him to make Graves want to make the stop.
Yeah. But again, Graves could have been looking up for Cole and all that, some other stuff.
Yeah, because Corey Graves, that's what he kind of shot it in the foot though too. He said it on commentary. Oh, I made the save for you once, Cole.
Yeah, but again, just personally, I don't think I think we're in agreement that the original interference wasn't necessary.
Man, that's definitely, because of where they had to do some involvement. I wonder how much he paid to get in that spot. How much
Yeah, and
WWE got
that's the
paid.
other thing. It's just like this. I mean, yeah, this is one of their people's, but like, is this really the move?
Because you didn't just see nobody from France and just interfering in the match just because they was from France.
Right.
Unless I'm mistaken. I mean, unless I forgot something. I don't know.
I don't think there was. I didn't see Rene Dupree make an appearance.
I don't think we're gonna see anybody from Glasgow interfere in the Drew McIntyre. Maybe, who knows, right? Maybe a family member.
I mean, these cats are Irish, but what if Gallus joins with McIntyre?
Mm.
They just got called up recently.
I think we discussed this or not, but I'm gonna put this take out there right now. I think people see this in this direction. Still unfinished business with CM Punk. Drew McIntyre wins the championship. I think I mentioned this before about 2 weeks ago where I said CM Punk is the reason why Drew McIntyre loses via cash in twice in 1 year.
So all the more reason when that matchup happens, do you honestly put the belt on Punk?
I think with his popularity, I don't know who I was telling this to. I think I was telling this off stream to somebody. What's the need for both titles to be a workhorse title? All right, the problem with the
Before I get into that topic, I'm going to focus on the matter at hand. So, say the matchup is going to be Drew versus Punk. Why should Punk have the belt?
star power. I'm not gonna lie. Every city, there's no city, or at least in New York, we want to see him Punk. When I went to Brooklyn, we seen him outside the garage, and we cheered. We don't even know why he wasn't on TV that night. He was there in Brooklyn.
That is all the reason why it should stay on Drew.
The chase.
Because Drew is the heel could say, "Fuck what you people want. This has been my destiny since day one. It ain't leaving me for nothing. You got to kill me for this. I will hold on to this by any means necessary." Why should the guy who got fired from the other place walk his way back into the world title picture?
I mean, Cody did it.
Cody isn't
And
CM Punk.
technically, CM Punk ain't even lose his championship when he was in AEW.
Cody
Defended it
isn't
on his
CM
last
Punk.
appearance. Yeah.
Punk wasn't in a story for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Punk just got here.
But Cody also got here when there was only one title. Not that it means
again,
much, but I'm
the
pretty sure if
purpose
there were
of the
two
other title,
titles, it might have been different.
well, honestly, no, Roman was the unified champion when Cody came the first time. The second time around, the belt was already created. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Because he came back to face Seth Rollins at the first WrestleMania when he came back.
And then Cody fought him 2 more times, beat him.
Yep. Before he gets his first
But
look at
but also with that topic, I think the more we bring that up is the more we as fans tell ourselves subliminally that second belt isn't what Roman created, which is the belt that now Cody has. So I think the less we speak on it, the less we bring that up, the more we give that belt a chance to survive.
That's why I'm thinking that the Raw title now turns into the Star Power title. And bring back like the prestige that once was everything
again,
that's in that belt that Cody holds.
It comes down to whatever the past was. You don't even bring it up. You don't even bring up how Seth became the Inaugural champion.
Yeah.
No, you don't even touch it at all. All you bring up is Seth's lengthy reign, and then if Drew beats Priest, you let Drew run with it for a minute, whatever. So that way you just keep the belt on Drew Drew saying that's his destiny, whatever. This is his birthright or something along the lines of that. Just leave it at that, and to where it's almost like how Smeagol is in Lord of the Rings with the one ring. It says precious. Do something like that.
To anybody that hasn't watched in 3 years, they wouldn't know the difference. Or 4 years, like they'll still think, oh, one is the WWE, the Universal, and the other one is the WWE.
Yeah, and again, despite the internet being a real thing, it's just you just let the belt organically become whatever it's meant to be. But the origin of that belt, like I said, you just stay away from it.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah,
just take that shit to the grave.
Cause I think at some point now, like you eliminated the part-time title, title. So to have both of them as the working horse title, I think Raw is in need of the dire need of attraction. Like they need something desperately going on over there.
I think what Raw is, and SmackDown has the same problem too with Cody, but I'll get to the Raw part first. Is Raw is so hyper focused on Punk versus Drew being a big thing, they're not really worried about everything else. Much like with Cody on SmackDown, I had my concerns with the overall chemistry between Cody and Logan Paul, and that match was what it was. But aside from that, is what other legitimate, credible opponents are there?
I was watching
Cody
Solid Monster. He said Randy. We could still get there with Randy.
I mean, yeah, you got that because of the history, but again, it's slim pickings for Cody, and whoever is champion, whether it be between Priest, Drew, and Punk, it's slim pickings over there too.
This is what I'm saying. I don't understand.
Granted, this is
crazy.
It's a mix of that, but it's also a mix of all the folks that they've called up. Now is their time. Unfortunately, some of them may be fast tracked. Melo could be fast tracked. Braun could be fast tracked. Ilya could be fast tracked. But you also have guys like Shinsuke. You have guys like KO, Randy, Braun Strowman. There's other guys that you could fill in the void to begin with, but for the newer generation, now is where you got to earn your keep.
Yeah, it's kind of like that moment in the NBA where we seeing all our favorite legends go out in the first round, and it's the young man's game. Like you watching all the young fellas come up, like you know what I'm saying.
So these next few months are going to be very interesting for WWE. Who steps up? Who rises past the cream of the crop? Who's willing to put the work in and all that and show why they should be one of the top guys?
So let me see what we got. We got who do you look at as a future? I know I've said for me is CM Punk, so I'm gonna stand on that. CM Punk Money in the Bank winner come July. Who you looking at for Money in the Bank winner?
Honestly, Ilya.
Mm. Now, would you keep it in it? All right, so now let me ask this. Because I know back in history, we've seen different formations of this Money in the Bank match. You'll see a combination of Raw and SmackDown. You think we're going to get Raw and SmackDown guys in one match?
I think because of everything changed in 2025, we'll see Raw, SmackDown, and NXT in this tournament or in that ladder match.
Mm.
And it'll be whoever wins from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, they'll face that or they'll have a chance to catch on that. I think they'll try to specify what the Money in the Bank used to be and kind of ruin what it once was. I hope I'm wrong, but also if you do that route, then why have NXT involved? So it's going to be rather interesting, but all in all, I kind of have Ilya Dragunov winning that whole ladder match to begin with.
Do you feel like they should make the Money in the Bank that you should be able to challenge for any championship rather than just a heavyweight?
It should be any championship. That's how it used to be.
Because I think
Much like the Royal Rumble, it was like you choose who you want to challenge for.
that'd be dope. All right, I can see that.
But then again, it's like
Cause realistically, that's like I think sometimes they have this Money in the Bank pay-per-view and match without really, or maybe time doesn't allow cause they only got a year window. What I'm trying to say between when you got to cash in. So sometimes it seems like the holder of the contract may be holding on for too long, and then they just do like a random cash in. I know that with
it
Damien, they
all
said WrestleMania was a plan.
and also especially with the men's winner potentially, you're kind of pigeonholed already because everyone already knows that the SmackDown Championship will be decided between Rock, Roman, and Cody. Probably Cody, Roman 3. So
Correct.
you're kind of pigeonholed to the.
They keeping Cody available. It's almost like that situation when Austin Theory won, and like you kind of knew he wasn't gonna cash in on Roman, and if he did, they had them pump fakes. Matter of
So
fact, to answer my own question, didn't Austin Theory cash in for the United States Championship?
he did.
Okay, so I
He
guess
did.
apparently you can cash in for whatever. I guess a different
And,
championship.
and no one was a fan of that.
I
So
mean,
again,
yeah,
so with Money in the Bank and with the winner of King and Queen of the Ring, they're in very tough spots because Cody is essentially off limits to everybody but Rock and Roman. Unfortunately, you could argue Randy, but realistically speaking, he'll drop it to probably Rock or Roman.
yeah.
I don't see him holding the belt until Mania next year.
Logan was the novelty match because I mean, if anything has to do with what I was reading, Saudi's in love with Logan right now. He did that last headline with Roman out there at Crown Jewel.
But
So
also, again, it was a solid match for what it was. It was
hell
fun.
yeah, no, it was definitely fun. I mean, there was things in there that Logan was pulling. The octopus stretch, I haven't seen that. I mean, you'll see it, but again in WWE, you don't
You
see people.
forget that he actually knows his shit.
Yeah. And trademark infringement. A lot of wrestlers don't. like using other people's shit. So Logan is like a created. Like you just see him using any and everything, and student in the game shit too.
About the trademark from himself. I mean, if you're Cody Rhodes, if he's supposed to do
Oh yeah,
5 times, he's allowed to use your whole moveset.
Yeah, he got his little. And
he don't give a fuck.
With Brock, it was a 3-match rule. He's using the Kimura. It used to be a 5-match rule.
Mm-hmm.
Now he broke it down to 3.
Well, again, if you wrestle Brock one time, that should count at least 2-3 matches right away, because that should you're gonna feel it for a lot longer than normal.
I'm not gonna lie. Anybody get 3 matches out of Brock is crazy.
So here's the other thing: the fact that his name is looming in the winds. Would you be opposed to Brock Lesnar, The Rock, one more time at a future Mania?
I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do, but Minneapolis.
I'm just saying. Would you be opposed to that being a possibility?
And what's that? SummerSlam, Minneapolis, 2 nights.
2026.
Enough time for things to should blow over if he's good. If he's good and everything. Enough time. It's enough time. We got enough. TKO. They could use the UFC packages now.
But you got to figure, The Rock, he'll be 55 by then, maybe 56.
And Brock will be getting older too.
Now again,
that's why I'm interested with the SummerSlam.
Either way, they both work a distinct style. Also, again, both of them had their most famous match at a SummerSlam.
I personally think, and I know I feel like it's not gonna be done, but just seeing SummerSlam being 2 nights, I feel like NXT is gonna be positioned to be a third brand, like a real brand though, not like the development.
For real this time?
I think so. With Triple H fully in charge, I think so. It would only make sense.
It would. And also you have the lingering NXT Japan somewhere in the winds. So they got a lot of moving pieces right now.
It'll soothe everything in. Like when you send somebody from NXT up like Lyra, like if anybody that just watches Raw or SmackDown isn't familiar, then having more inclusion of NXT into the PLEs and you showcasing your NXT more, I think again it'll soothe the main roster audience, turning NXT into a main roster audience.
Yep.
To be honest, and then they're gonna be on what CW's the next.
I think NXT might be on USA.
USA, they're on CW right now. Or where's it? No. NXT's on USA right now.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be on CW next.
Possibly. Who's Fox getting? Nobody yet?
I think they out with WWE right now.
Yeah, because Raw's gonna go to Netflix. The PLEs are still gonna be on Peacock until like 2026 anyways, I think. Huh. Shit's gonna get interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised to see AEW jump over to Fox, only because Tony Khan he's more of a football than basketball, so it makes more sense.
Fox here's the thing. Look at the numbers they're bringing in now.
Yeah, it's not gonna help
when SmackDown went there, they demanded $2.5 million minimum.
And there we seen the bloodline creation. Roman Reigns exclusively on SmackDown.
Yeah, and they were bringing in the numbers. They were demanding, hey, yes, you guys are bringing in a 1.2 or whatever. If you're coming with us, we demand this number right here. Take it or leave it. Triple H said, all right, hold my water since you don't drink.
Man.
But so, again, as much as I would love for AEW to be on there, whatever, it's just the numbers that these bigger networks and bigger markets demand can you honestly, even with the returning Juice Robinson and MJF, can they even get back to 850, 900,000 with what they have currently?
Um, I
And
think right now, nah,
hold that number consistently.
with that fake NWO direction that you're speaking of, it feels like the elite is gonna take over the prominent of storyline. I don't see that. Even when MJF came back right now, I'm gonna be honest, I was hyped to see him, but that whole shit felt secondary. Like it didn't even feel primary still, to be honest. It just felt
It
like,
felt
oh,
rushed and forced.
for sure, for sure.
And again, and because again, for the amount of work he's done there so far, that deserves better. You could have milked that for about 3 to 6 weeks, whatever, easily. Let the crowd build up, knowing he's coming back, but you don't know when he's gonna come. Let that shit build, and then you pull the plug when it's doing this. Not
Because
on a show
essentially
where
he
it's
just dropped
like,
the elbow drop on the mask and said, "I'm done with
yeah,
this shit," which
and
was fire.
he
Ric Flair
yeah
joint.
he cut a decent promo, but it's just like, all right, that was it. And again, he shows up, kicks Adam Cole in the nuts. That's the big return blow off.
Yeah, the hug, kicking the nuts. Yeah, like
That was it. Like I said, the stuff that they do is fine, and it seems like they're satisfied with being content. They, for what they present to us, it could be so much more, so much bigger, so much more monumental than what it actually is. They're okay with the bare minimum.
oh, and I want to go on record to say the second man to say to suck a dick on television. The bag of donkey dicks he wants them to suck on. That shit got
Now,
it.
now to be politically correct, what the Hall of Famer Paul Heyman said, "Suck my fucking dick."
Man, MJF, I give it to him for even tippy toeing the borderlines. It was a pay per view though, so language was
Oh yeah,
acceptable.
it's paper. Yeah, you can get away with something like that. But again, it's like, Tony, 2 of your heavy hitters are back. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna just throw them in the shuffle like usual, or is this time going to be different? That is the question.
Mm. I'm be honest too. After watching both shows tonight, I feel like AEW put on the more star. Yeah, I'm gonna say star-studded in terms of if I'm looking at what championships are supposed to mean. They have more belts on the line. WWE ain't even have to go as hard.
They definitely have more fireworks, say that much.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel WWE put on a better show, better moments, better crowd. Obviously, it's due to
I'm
the
not going to go that far. I
circumstance.
mean, both shows were what they were. I mean, much like in the show, it's like we'll see how each one stands the test of time.
Hmm I
Because,
mean,
like I
yeah,
said, AEW, they don't build for the story; they build for the moment. All right, you had 2 returns, you had a title change with someone in her debut match. Is that gonna was all of that enough to celebrate your 5-year anniversary?
nah. And then you know what? You know what's fair? Where they judge pigs at. So I'm gonna just be honest. We don't like to compare, but that's what happens when you want to compete with prestigious company that been around for so many years. You know what I'm saying? You could have something simple as a King of the Ring tournament, and it's just more entertaining in the Queen of the Ring tournament than a championship match that AEW's having. And it's just because simple
And
build up.
and many of us aren't even looking at them as a competition anymore. It's just they're just another show.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like if y'all can put on a good show, then I'm cool with it. But to say it's competition, that's when I gotta be honest and say, nah, it's really not. Like you could just put on good matches and stuff like that. But I don't see no direct competition. That part needs to stop. You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, they got to rediscover their own identity before they even make any notions elsewhere. Because as of right now, it seems like it's like I said, it's NWO 2000.
It's kind of like what we said the other day, which is why I respected how TNA just did their thing. A lot of what they were doing was like, okay, we doing us. We not here to compete with y'all, but you know what I'm saying? We're
And
TNA.
folks were gravitating towards that.
Yeah, like okay, yeah, we could rock with these guys. They coming out like, now we want to put WWE out of business, kind of like, and I'm like, man, I don't
That
know
was
how to
never the
feel.
move.
Yeah, like I don't know how. Cause I'm gonna be honest, if you want to put WWE out of business, you want me to stop watching that to just watch this. Like, come on,
One of my
like,
personal favorite lines was when you had Dynamite and NXT go head to head, and the only clapback Tony Khan had to say was, "This was the first time John Cena and The Undertaker didn't draw 1 million viewers." Okay,
oh yeah, I remember that.
you take those two segments out of the NXT show. NXT still smokes you by at least 150,000 viewers.
Man, I
Okay,
remember that. And you know what though? I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I really feel like look at like victim of circumstance. A lot of people were just tired of Vince's shit, so they were riding AEW. But the
but
second
guess what?
Triple H was in control,
Vince ain't there no more.
Yo, when
There's no more
the tide
excuses
started
now.
changing,
The gloves are
yeah,
off.
the tide started changing as soon as Vince lost control, and that's what I feel like. You know, Tony Khan wanted that moment so bad, and then it happened, and now things are turning around. It's crazy,
For what it's worth, Tony Khan should have been paying Vince's hush money. He'd still have a fighting battle.
man. No, for real, cause Vince, like, to whatever degree, Vince is a genius, but at some point, everybody loses an edge. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody's. I don't know one artist that has every song is a fucking hot song on every album. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some misses.
There's gonna be some duds.
Yeah, there's gonna be some dust for sure, especially over the time span that Vince is like. Come on, like 50 years, 60 years in a bit. Like, come on, he's that's a very long time.
You're gonna come across the Kennel from Hell match. You're gonna come across WLC.
Yeah, like especially after giving us the Attitude Era, like that was, wrestlers now want to say they is better. The athleticism, without a doubt, is smacking the Attitude Era. I give the wrestlers of today that the way they take care of their bodies, but I'm gonna be honest, the overall toughness and just what the Attitude Era was, to me, that's what embodied what I loved about wrestling. It was over the top. It was I'm putting everything was it was just symbolic. Everything was symbolic. Nobody does anything cool that, like, who does any like this, putting the ones up, that's been the coolest shit in a while.
Yeah,
Too
that
sweet.
you had the yeeting, the fireflies, the yeah.
And even Too Sweet, that's Bullet Club, but you date that back to the Click. The Click been doing the Too Sweet. The
But
Outsiders.
at the end of the day, like let's look at the Jey Uso and the yeeting to him being adopted by the Fireflies, for example. That was him just trying something in the crowd, accepting it and embracing it for what it was. And now he was then gifted the Fireflies from the crowds. Whereas you have folks like AEW, the elite used to have a hand gesture like that they just stopped doing for whatever reason. Well, I don't know if it's the crowd doesn't care about it or whatever, but again, it's the little nuances to where there should be similarities that are much closer than others, but one side's putting the work in, the other side's just about it.
Yeah, like MJF is one of those over the top guys where it's like, yeah, I wish I could speak to my boss like that. I wish I could tell him he's a fucking mark. Like, yeah, man, fucking fire me, dog. Everybody wish they
I'll
could go
go
to
to
work and
jolly
talk.
old Saint Nick. I'll go
Yeah,
to New York.
like everybody wish they could talk to their boss like that. So to me, a character like MJF, yes, he's over the top great. He might not be a fucking like a Vince 90s character, but he's still a character. He's still great at what he did. Now, somebody like a Trent Beretta, I don't see nothing. I don't A great wrestler. Great. What's your fucking character? That you're a great wrestler? I'm tired of those.
You had something with Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow. You had something with Brian Cage. You have something left with Swerve and Christian respectively, but it's like that's hanging on by a thread. All you have is the EVPs playing NWO because their titles are executive vice presidents of this promotion.
I'm sad to say, the most symbolic shit in AEW too for quite some time too was the crowd singing Chris Jericho song. Like you see how they
Yep.
sing. Yeah, that was it for a while. Like me and my girl used to
And
just
then
wait for Jericho to
once
come out for
Jericho
that.
got in that rumored trouble, whatever, that stopped real quick.
Yeah, he's been changing up his song. You know, is it? It's not too much to me symbolism in AEW in a good way. That's like memorable shit. Like even like you go back like maybe it's hard to do things because they've already been done. But the Dudleys, you think of tables, you think of the Dudleys. Get the tables.
You had the Hardys and Edge Christian for a minute. Not one ladder match between the four of them.
And then you put fucking like Jeff Hardy in a match with Sammy Guevara and just think like weird. I don't know, it'd be crazy shit.
You had LAX
Her
there for a minute.
man. Again,
You
I
had
told
all
that
kinds of stuff that was worth their own gimmick or whatever, but again, wasted opportunities.
yeah, again, you just got dudes being like you got some dudes that take on a character, and then you got the other ones that feel like you ain't got nothing for them, so they're just like a good wrestler. And even like Daddy Magic, Mike Menard, right? I feel like I think they cool sometimes, but then it'd be like, okay, so what else you gotta do though? Like y'all just got nicknames, like just got
They're giving
nicknames.
nothing to work with.
Yeah, y'all just come out and wear white and got nicknames. Like I don't.
They're about as relevant as the Dark Order, unfortunately.
You know what I'm saying? Again, this is a team that they did say was on FTR level, which they can
Could have
be, I
been.
guess. Yeah, they can be. Like I said, I like they shit. But
Just
the
give
way
us a
that they
reason to give
present,
a damn about them. It's that simple. Give us a reason to care.
I mean, I think what they was doing with Sean Spears was cool. For some reason, it just didn't hit the whole chairman thing. Like I feel like the concept of it, I thought it was great. Like wow, they really named somebody the chairman, and he over here just smacking people with chairs. Like that's crazy. Like, but
Even
that
Anthony
it
Ogogo with that right hand.
could have been one of the first. Like he could have been like Logan Paul if trained correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as good, but found whatever his ring style was gonna be.
Oh, we'll
Or
never
maybe
know.
we'll never know. A lot of missed opportunities for AEW, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what could have been.
What could have been.
I'm gonna start singing Rascal Flatts here in a minute.
Two exciting nights of wrestling. Um, what do you feel like is gonna happen going forward for both brands? Do you feel like the next set of pay-per-views we're gonna see like something that's going to dig our feet into long term, or it's just going to be quick blow offs just to get us down the road?
Well, for AEW, it's definitely gonna be the latter, as much as it pains me to admit. But let's see, we're in May going into June. Definitely by All Out, we'll see the definitive direction moving forward for AEW. At least by Wembley around that time, we'll be locked in on what their plans are moving forward. Um, One can only hope the best for them
Mm.
because having good pay-per-views can only go so far.
As long as the buy rates are good for them, and you know, that's
Yeah, well, according to Meltzer, no one's buying pay-per-views anymore.
yeah, that's
Everyone's looking into streaming. But with most of these streaming companies, they want to see what you're doing on TV first before they let you into their network. And I think AEW had a better shot at renegotiating for that 2 years ago than they do now.
losing all the leverage that they have is crazy.
And it never had to be this way. They had everything in the palm of their hands, and Tony just being Tony. I don't know how else to put it.
That Tony being Tony. I got to follow over here. I was trying to see Ivan BG72. I appreciate that support, brother. Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody out there. Yeah, we over here rocking the town, man. Y'all know how to do. Y'all know how to do. I don't know why. I, I guess I'm getting a bunch of. Let me see some.
Well, you broke the internet already?
All right, like they going crazy on the follows right there. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm be honest, I don't know what they following on, cause um I don't have the notification going on. It gotta be kicked. We got
Also,
115,
what type of organization you running over there?
right? Like, man, we got 115 over here on Kick. Um,
Appreciate y'all.
yes, sir. We got another 31 over here on Twitch. We had Sam over here on YouTube watching us. Yeah, I appreciate y'all being here for the live episode. You know what I'm saying? Catch the post. If y'all couldn't catch any of what we were speaking on earlier, there's always time to watch the whole episode. Don't fret, y'all. We got the uploads coming for y'all. Just might have to wait an extra day because I'm gonna have to split this one up. I'm gonna have to do something that I never really do. We kind of did 2 episodes in one, so y'all gonna see the rollouts, and it should be the same day, but it just might take a matter of, like I said, the transporting of the videos between applications and YouTube and all that. So, but I appreciate y'all being here live and stuff. It's funny because I'm over here, I'm looking at my other screen, right? I got 2 monitors, so I'm looking at my other screen, and I just see Jericho going off over there.
What do you want? Catching the media scrum or something else?
What happened?
Was it from the media scrum or just something else?
Nah, that shit was from something else. When you talk about Jericho, it's a little
Yeah.
gift that pop up when people hit me
Oh.
with a follow. Yeah, it's a little gift that pops up on my screen when people hit me with a follow and stuff. That's all I was saying. Like, I don't know. It's confusing. But yeah, definitely it was a fire episode today, man. You got anything else you wanna head up on before we dead this one?
No, not really. I mean, the only thing is that this week I believe is the final block matches for the Best of Super Juniors. So we're on the cusp of one of their bigger shows in Dominion. So they got some stuff cooking very soon. But if you want, I can just run through who's in the leaderboard for the A and B block right now if you want.
Yep.
So for the A block, we have currently a 4-way tie for first with El Desperado, Teton, Hayata from Pro Wrestling Noah, and representing Ring of Honor Wrestling, Blake Christian. So it's going to be a very close race coming up. And then leading in the B block, currently there is another 4-way tie for first in Hiromu Takahashi, Robbie Eagles, Taiji Ishimori, and Sho. So still anybody's game. Only one person has been mathematically eliminated from the tournament in general. So a lot of grabs still these next couple matches. A lot of what-if scenarios that are going to come into play very soon. And we'll see what the block finals hold come Dominion.
It's about to get turned up. I feel like this is what I was excited for. I had to just be patient. This one we thought shit was slowing down. They said, nah.
'Tis the season.
Man, always in the summertime too. I ain't gonna lie. Wrestling be getting lit. I don't know how y'all feel. It gets lit at any kind of times because wrestling don't take a break. But to me, summertime be lit, and just like the start of the new year, like that Royal Rumble season, that Road to WrestleMania season, those two, man.
And my favorite time of the year for New Japan is right around the corner. The G1 Climax, the end of the summer, going into the fall. Those names should be announced in the next couple months.
Those would be things, what's crazy about the G1 tournaments that, like, before, like, knowing how to look this stuff up, I would read those on, like, whatever websites and stuff. But just reading the tournaments and reading the names and then seeing, like, pictures of the, like, matches and stuff like that, it always felt like I had, like, a visual for how the matches went and stuff, like, you know what I mean? It's just, so I always would see the names and stuff, and then later on in life when YouTube was available, go back and look up some of these names that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. Like,
right.
That's dope. For sure.
So, I mean, unfortunately, I anticipate quite a few AEW names in this year's G1, unfortunately, but I mean, let's see who those names are. We could see Claudio in one. We could see Eddie Kingston in one probably not Eddie because of his injuries, but maybe this could be the 1 year Brian has his G1 moment. Maybe if his missus will let him. We could see Jay White back in New Japan in the G1 potentially. We could see Okada back in the G1 potentially. A lot could happen. Back in the G1 potentially.
Yeah, chat. Y'all hear it. Y'all know what's going on, man. That's it right there. WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, all taken care of in one go. Man.
Sometimes we got to edit the clip out once in a while.
Empty the clip right here. This joint still they breaking the follows over here, chat. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm about to have to take that off the screen. That just keep popping up.
He tired of seeing Jericho's face.
Man, for real, like I'm just glad that it ain't making the noise that go with it. To be honest, it make a noise. It's supposed to say "stupid idiot." I'd have been hearing that non-stop in my headset.
Oh, that'd have been funny.
Hell yeah, I'd have been like, "Yo, what's going on?"
You'd be like, "Who won it?"
Yeah. But yeah, chat on the next few joints. We're gonna do the should be able to do the Friday one. I know I'll be giving y'all the list of what we gonna do, and sometimes things don't go as planned, but the card is subject to change, y'all. Off the hip. Unwelcome your thoughts. Just stay alert. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be here. We're gonna tell y'all when it's live, and if y'all missed it, we're gonna show y'all what happened afterwards. Razor, you got anything else you wanna say?
Worst case scenario, we're gonna pull the pin and throw the grenade like Tony Khan always does.
Yeah, man. And I'm gonna just be standing around like this. Get my coffee mug, my shirt to the side, looking like somebody just grabbed me backstage. Man, I can't
Fearing for
believe
your
it.
life.
Yeah, fear for my. When his eyes go wide, I be cracking up. I'm not even gonna lie. Thing, I'll be like, go get some rest, man. It's like you trying to stay up or something.
Yeah,
Like,
just take your ass to bed.
yeah, he's like, yes, sir. Y'all know it.